So now we can start. Sir, Moril sir, you can start with the introduction now.
Okay.
So good morning to you all participants. We are going to start the session. I request
Shall we
Moril
start?
sir to give the introduction of the speaker.
Thank you, madam. On this STTP sponsored by AICD, organized by Gurunanak College of Pharmacy. On behalf of entire staff and organizing committee, I welcome Sumit Jaiswal sir for day 5, session 1 of this STTP. Ladies and gentlemen, we are blessed with a charismatic personality whose introduction will be given by me. He is an authority in regulatory affairs, a professional with vast experience and proven track record pertaining to pharmaceuticals, healthcare, nutritional, and cosmetic products. He is also involved actively in strategic partnership with industries and competent authorities in India as well as South Asian countries. On educational front, he is BSc from Nagpur University in Biotechnology, MS in Clinical Research from MGR University, MBA in Marketing from Guru Jambheshwari University. Uh, on professional front, he started his career as a research scientist at Ranbaxy Research in clinical research and handled approvals in India and abroad, which related to preclinical and clinical trials. He then served GlaxoSmithKline as project manager in clinical operations. He successfully managed key brands like Eno, Iodex, Sensodyne, Horlicks, to quote a few, since we are well aware with this. With clinical operations management, in consonance with global quality assurance team, he has collaborated vastly. Next, he joined as a brief professional stint with Novel Vigor Solutions in Nagpur as a trainer and consultant to staff which worked on ICH GCP guidelines. He also guided and trained staff involved in clinical trials, as well as he was nutritional consultant to athletes and sportsmen. Currently, he is serving since 2012 as a head of regulatory affairs and business affairs, South Asia, as a senior manager in company. We all know this company, Oriflame India Private Limited. Here he looks after huge number of activities rather, in India as well as South Asia, which are but not limited to licensing, regulatory approvals, product development cycle, as liaison officer with many authorities, etc. He also deals with managing regulatory budgets and process improvement to maximize the output with minimum spending and minimum resources. With this vast experience, he has core competencies in team building, liaising, networking across the globe, project management, and business communication. So I rather kindly request Sumit Jaiswal sir, to share his experience with all the participants. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Keshav sir. That's very, very kind and humble from your end. I would like to extend my thank and my huge greetings to Gurunanak College of Pharmacy. Thank you so much, Mitali ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to be in front of you, in front of all the friends and colleagues from the pharmacology fraternity. And since I being from the same fraternity, I feel so connected. It is I believe that this field is going to be the leaders in future. This field is the face of future. Considering the time which we are in, we have all seen the pandemic situation all over the globe. And who are the forefront runners? The healthcare sector people. And I believe that this is not the end, this is the start. So thank you so much once again for this introduction. And today I'm going to talk about a very essential and very important attributes in our work profile and in our job, and that is soft skills and personality development for an entrepreneurship. So now, when we talk about entrepreneurship, it is not necessary that you start your own business, you start your own company, but then it is about being responsible. Yeah, whatever you deliver it responsibly. That's called real entrepreneur. Now, and when I feel that what is when we talk about the work skills, it is primarily distributed between the hard skills and soft skills. And I believe that hard skills is something which we all attain in our colleges and through our eminent faculties with such an amazing teachers ever since we studied in our school. But soft skills is something which we really need to learn, and we have to put inner efforts, a lot of efforts. And therefore what I say that education is not the learning of the fact but training of mind to think. Now soft skills may have to do more with what we are and to understand who we are. Like we all know pharmaceutics, pharmacology. We have been learning for 4 years, 6 years that what is pharmacokinetics, pharmacodynamics, and we become professional in that. We become so expert. But then when it comes to present that what we have done, what we have learned in front of your consumers or customers or client, be whatever it is, that's the real deal, my friend. How you gonna connect with your people, with your client, how best you can convince your customer, and that's the real key. So no matter what, how brilliant you are in your academics, how intelligent you are in delivering those experiments and those rocket sciences, but then if you do not have your inner soft skills, then it may get you may not get that justice what you deserve. So ladies and gentlemen, let's start about today's course, and I'm going to start with what is the most important attribute in our personality development or in our soft skills, and that is attitude. Yeah, attitude is what matters. So these two things, soft skills and personality, goes hand in hand. So if you have a good attitude, definitely you're going to have a good personality, you're going to have a good soft skills. So remember, when you wake up in the morning, what you think, yeah, what you think first after you wake up, so that decides your mindset, that decide your how content you are, how balanced you are. So you have to think positive when you wake up in the morning. Yeah. Second thing is when we talk about our mindset, it's always about how you believe about yourself. So we need to have a strong belief. We need to believe that we can do it. We need to believe that we can give 100% today. We need to believe that even if we get failed, we will not stop. We will continue to strive and we will continue to success. So that's the real deal. And when you see the attitude will be incompleted with the right body language. And what is the most essential element of the body language is your smile. So smile so that you can make others smile. Smile so that you can make yourself smile. Smile so that you can make everyone in your around feel very positive. So extremely important element, keep smiling. कुछ नहीं जाता है मेरे दोस्त, अगर आप कितने भी दुविधा में हो, कितने भी डिफिकल्टीज में हो, कितनी भी चैलेंजेस आ रहे हैं आसपास, don't lose your smile. That's the very essential element. So let me start with my topic today. I am going to share the screen, but I don't believe in only slides. So I will request that in case if anybody have questions, please do unmute yourself, raise your hand, and whatever in format, and do ask your questions. Just a second. So I hope you can see my screen. Super. So as we discussed here, friends, that when we talk about the skills, it's primarily divided into two skills: hard skills and soft skills. And the hard skills, we already discussed that it is a very specific skills which is required to do your job done. Yeah. However, the soft skills are the personal attributes which typically link to how you work and interact with others, which are necessary for success in your career development. Now, when we talk about more in detail, how you feel is something when you talk about how what kind of emotional balance you have. So emotional quotient is very important in soft skills. We always value for all the jobs, and it is something which we have to constantly understand, and this will definitely determine your success. Yeah. So let me give you a quick stats that if we focus on small soft skills development, that will increase your overall productivity by 12%. And this is a research conducted by Harvard University, also from the Boston College and the University of Michigan. So imagine that if you just focus on belief, if you focus on your emotional balance, if you focus on your confidence, that will definitely increase the productivity. And imagine if you run a business with the help of soft skills, the return of investment is 256%. Therefore, there was a study that when you do your job, no matter what you have studied, your degree will give only 5% weightage in your future. However, 80% of the credit will go on how you communicate, and 15% is something is when we talk about your professional experience. So what experience you gather. So 5% is about what you studied for 10 years, 15 years. 15 years is 15% is something what you attained, whether you are in academics, whether you are in industry, whether you are in any other field in business. That will give you only 15%. But 80% is something which comes out from your inner core, and that's why you might have seen, very young entrepreneur achieve that success. I mean, I have seen people achieving MD level at a very young age. I've seen one of our MD, called, his name is Frederick Riddell. He became MD at the age of 29. And why he achieved that position? Because he always believed in himself, that he has always dreamt that I'm gonna do excellent in my job. At the same time, I'm going to achieve this position, and that is a managing director of a country at the age of 29. So you have to believe, at the same time you have to dream big. Yeah, until you stop dreaming, you आप कोई भी एक मुकाम हासिल नहीं कर सकते हो. So it's always important that you constantly dream. So the next, I will tell you that what we can do. I mean, I will go a bit more in specific, since we talk about, we all are from the pharmacology fraternity, pharmacy fraternity, and therefore what we can do and how the soft skills can help us. So what are the options where when we talk about after completing our graduation or after completing our post-graduation, what we're gonna do? There are a lot of trends happening now. So हमने मेडिकल स्टोर्स तो बहुत देखे हैं बचपन से, बट आज का ट्रेंड ये है कि आपको चेन ऑफ फार्मेसीज शुरू करनी है. आप फार्मेसी हैज टू कम online. There are various delegations which has gone to Ministry of Health, and after that finally Ministry of Health has given the approval that pharmacy आप online कर सकते हो. ठीक है, आप you might have seen 1mg or many other series of pharmacy chains who are working on it. So why this happened? I mean, जो दुकान में बैठा हुआ है एक फार्मासिस्ट और वो दवाई चला रहा है, तो वो तो चलाते ही रहेगा, but until and unless he thinks about to grow, thinking out of the box, you'll not be able to deliver these kind of things. So whether you are in pharmacy or you can start your own manufacturing unit. Now, India is the biggest generic medicine producer after China. But then we have seen the time when India has overcome China in terms of delivering generic medications. We many times dependent on China because of the active pharmaceutical ingredients, APIs. However, when we talk about delivering most generic medicines, it's India always. When you go to US, when you go to Europe, India is always the first choice for them for buying those generic medicines. So friends, what you can do is you can also start your contract manufacturing, but then what is essentially required for this kind of setup? It's not only investment, but it's all about the mindset as well. You don't need money all the time. What you need is a planning, a mindset, and belief in yourself. That's how you're going to deliver. Second thing is you can create a brand like what we can see in the screen, and most of you and almost every one of you would know about these brands. Now remember how these brands came into existence. So when we talk about Sanofi or Merck or GSK or Abbott or Novartis, every single company has their own success stories. Yeah, most of the company was started in garage. Most of the companies was started with one single idea, and therefore it's essentially required that what you think, what you believe will come into existence. So always be positive, always be creative, and focus more on your inner development. The fourth thing is about you can either go to academics. Yeah. Now, pharmacy graduates are the most intelligent group of people on the health sector or on the earth. This has been studied already because these people are the real backbone for delivering the medications to the consumers. So doctors are the one who definitely recommends the medicines, but pharmacists, pharmacology experts, these are the people who do the actual experiments. These are the people who actually, innovate the medications, whether it is dosage form, whether it is any specific condition, whether it is changing the mechanism of action. These are the people. So therefore, they always end up in extending their courses, achieving more credentials, and therefore they can go to academics, they can go to doctoral or postdoctoral programs, they can even join a company as a formulation scientist or as a formulation chemist, or they can even join the corporates. But please try to understand why I'm showing this. Every single career option, what you can see here, requires soft skills. So if you do not have a soft skill, you cannot able to present what you have achieved, what you have invented. So I do know, I do have few examples where both positive and negative, I can say that in pharmacology world, I have seen many brilliant minds who are constantly working on new chemical entities, new formulations, but they are not able to, they are not able to convince their company, their brand, their management that what they have done is a brilliant. it's absolutely innovative. And whereas on the second hand, the person who hardly have that much of capability of that person who have really done that innovation, this person takes that particular science and all those theses, and that person explains to the management. That person, shows it to them with the help of its soft skills, and that idea gets cracked. So what we have learned is that even though we it's very essential in this technical field to have a hard skills, but without soft skills will not be able to run. In the corporates, essentially, I can share my example, my experiences rather, that we constantly work on a new product development. Yeah, we constantly work on delivering new products in this dynamic world, because one hand we have a generic medications, we constantly see that in the market, but on the other hand we see new medicines, new trials, different conditions have been targeted to overcome with the help of these research. So we need to have a business development unit as well, and who are there in this business development, who are there in this marketing field? Primarily, they all are the pharmacologist mainly. And if we do not see a pharmacologist, then I feel so bad, because these are the people who have worked so hard, but then the person who are presenting in front of the audience is non-technical. So you see, at times you can see commerce or arts graduate also in the field of medical marketing, and how they have achieved it because of their soft skills, not because of their hard skills, my friends. So please remember to constantly work on your soft skills. Now, we all know where we are. Yeah, the, the the world has understand that we cannot just limit ourselves to soft skills. Now imagine the pandemic situation from last 8 months, 8 or 9 months, or almost 1 year. In this epidemic situation, we all have worked from home. It was so difficult to not to see your colleagues face to face, not to see your peers face to face, your friends face to face, but still deliver them. But then what has happened is we all have utilized the technology. See, what we are doing right now also is an amazing piece of work. I could not have imagined doing this 2 years back. Yeah, that we are connecting through a live streaming, because these are the things which will be future. This will decide the future. And when we talk about what this time has taught us, we have rarely given importance to interpersonal relations. What we are doing right now, and most of the people, what they end up, their routine is like they get up, they do their job, they read their books, they do some social networking, and that's it. They end their day. But then what this time has taught us, that you have to sell yourself. You have to constantly work on your interpersonal skills, be it is as face-to-face or through online media. You have to work immensely, constantly. Now, let's think about and let's learn about what are the essential elements of soft skills. So soft skills make it easier to form relationship with others, which makes you visible for the right reasons, consequentially unlocking more career-related opportunities for you. So what are the first most important element? Communication. Yeah. So when we talk about communication, it is itself is a huge topic. Yeah, we cannot deliver the entire soft skills training in one session, because soft skills are vast. It has majority of power-packed contents within itself that it takes a lot of time to understand. But then let's understand what are the essential elements of soft skills. So it's communication, it's teamwork, adaptability, problem-solving skills, leadership, time management, and work ethics. Now, every single element of soft skills has its own importance. Yeah, we cannot replace any one of them. We cannot eliminate any one of them, because if we lack any of the skills, we will not be able to succeed in this world. We will not be able to succeed in industry or in this business. So let's quickly understand more about the different attributes of these soft skills. So I'll start with communication. Yeah. So what is communication skills? Now, if we define communication, it is merely exchange of thoughts from one person to another, or a group of people, or a wider audience. So what we are doing is also communication right now. I'm communicating with you, and I'm trying to build that relation with that connection with each one of you. And in the communication, there is always a sender and a receiver. So right now, I'm a sender because I'm passing an information to you. And therefore, it's always a sender and a receiver. And what is more important is that how you receive, how much you receive, and what you do with that information. So when we talk about mediums of communication, there are primarily it's a verbal, non-verbal, pictorial, and written communication. I would say in the world from like 15, 20 years back, it was always verbal. Yeah, always we used to work on phones, we used to do the meetings, and then we do our job, we complete our job. But then slowly and steadily in this last 15 years, the verbal communication has been accompanied, adjuncted with the written communication as well. So what is a written communication? It's emails, it's a messenger, it's social networking, it's your messages, everything. So when you write that your emotions, when you write your message, it becomes easy for that person to understand. But then there are two essential elements which has transformed the entire communication strategy, and those are non-verbal, that is a gesture. Yeah, a gesture or a body language or an eye contact. So this is the key, my dear friend. So when we talk about communication, we need to understand that we have to combine all sorts of mediums, including verbal, non-verbal, which is a body language and gesture, pictorial. Now, pictorial is something which is creating a vision. Yeah, unless and until you make your thoughts visible to the person in front of you, it will be very difficult. Now, imagine a situation where we are driving a strategy to launch a particular product. Yeah. So until and unless we show them how this product would look like, how this product will appear to the consumer, how this product will give benefits to the consumer. So we have to show the benefits. We have to write down each and every importance of that. We have to create a brief rather. Yeah, we have to create a brief that how much this product will cost, how much will this product will cost for the manufacturer, and what will be the MRP. Yeah, and then what will be the profit, what will be the margin, what will how company will get benefited. So if you create this entire picture, if you create this entire demonstration in front of your peers, in front of your management, then that's the key. Because even though you know everything, until you create those picture, even though you you talk with them. It will not be completed until and unless you create that vision. So therefore, pictorial vision is very important. Like we have, most of the time we have seen the trends. All our financial research analysts, what they do, they create a graph. They show the graph that how the situation is changing, how the market is changing, and therefore it's very important to club each one of these variables of communications together and then utilize that. Okay, so let's move on the second part. And what is that? And that's a teamwork. Yeah. So when we talk about a communication, what is more important here is how you listen, the active listening. So if I'm a sender and if you are a receiver, the job will not be completed until you listen it carefully. Yeah, you pay attention to understand the context. Yeah, it is extremely important to hold your judgment, not to reach any conclusion that this topic is not important for me, or this is amazing. So always withhold your judgment and then reflect whether how this information is going to benefit me, how I can utilize this information, and then the last one is summarize and share. So imagine a situation where your colleague, where your teacher is teaching you a lesson for immunology or pharmacokinetics. So you have to listen it, that what are the essential variables: absorption, metabolism, distribution, excretion. You need to understand the entire process for that particular dosage form, for that particular medications, that how will this work in your body. And until and unless you completely understand the mechanism of action, you will not be able to conclude, and you will not be able to understand the objective of this particular drug or product. So similarly, in the communication, it's very important to listen proactively. The second one, as we already discussed, is the body language. Yeah, when we talk about the body language, there is a famous quote in US that if you win your customer through your body language, you get the business. Yeah, so always a lot of people, they focus a lot on your body language, how you're standing, whether you're closed or not, whether you are open for any kind of gesture or not. And therefore it is extremely important to interpret the language. This will help you understand how someone is feeling about you. Yeah, and then when you pass a good vibes, when you constantly smile, when you show that gracious presence, I would say that it is always taken in a positive way, be it in your company or in your family or outside in the world. Always focus on your body language. The third one is emotional intelligence. Now, you might have heard, I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of techniques, there are a lot of efforts being given and driven on training on the emotional quotient, that is EQ. And what exactly is this? It is basically identifying and managing your emotions as well as people's emotion. Now, we work in a very challenging environment. India is a big country. Yeah, it's extremely challenging environment everywhere. There is a lot of competition. There is always a struggle, and there is always a complexities. What is more important here is how you deal every situation intelligently, emotionally intelligent. So in a corporate, I can say that when you have to work with a larger team, when you have to work with senior management, when you work with across the geography, with different nationalities, with different cultures, what gives you the most important ammunition in terms of communication is your emotional intelligence. How empathetically you feel about the other person. So there's a lot of trainings, programs, and importance given on the emotional intelligence. I can give one example. Like we face a lot of situation where we don't like a person, or rather, I would like to say that we don't like the view of that person, and we are facing extremely conflicting situation. It's a tough situation in an industry or in a college or anywhere. So how we deal with it? So you cannot just put your perspective every time, yeah, because that may adverse the situation. So you have to listen it. You have to switch on or switch off your amygdala. You see, amygdala is the organ or a process where you say, where you know when to switch on and when to switch off, when you have to calm down and when you have to shift the gear to be more aggressive or to be more competitive. So not every time being aggressive will work. You have to calm yourself, you have to understand the situation, and then you have to deal with it. And the next one is about the confidence. Extremely important. Being confident, being assertive is extremely important. So whatever you do, whatever you deliver, whatever you present, whatever you're working, if you're not confident to deliver that, if you're not confident to showcase that, then my dear friend, it gets extremely difficult. Yeah. So confidence and assertiveness is extremely important. You need to speak with clarity. You need always speak in a clear notion with a good body language. You need to listen. You need to understand the situation emotionally. And then you always have to be positive and assertive. That's the key of communication skills. So let's move on to the next topic, and that is teamwork. So when we talk about teamwork, it actually gives you how to deal with your team. It teaches you, and it's a quite essential element, that how you work with your team, how you work with your colleagues. And therefore, I would like to say that the most important factor, the most important way of managing your team, working within the team, working outside the team, is delegate. Delegate your task. It may not be essential that you are always an expert of what is happening. So you always need to understand and choose who are the experts and then delegate your task. And I'm primarily explaining this considering the academician here, considering the professionals and entrepreneurs, that you don't need to do everything by yourself, because if you do that, then it gets so difficult that you may not be able to deliver that particular activity on time, even if you're expert of that particular thing, or even if you achieve that expertise through external resources or through your teachers or through your academicians. So important to delegate that task. Yeah. The second one is about helping each other. So when we talk about teamwork, it will be incompleted unless and until you help them, you collaborate with them, you cooperate your colleagues. So helping others to solve their problems is the beautiful element and in classification of the teamwork. It's a very good skills, and most of the organization do recognize this particular thing in a hidden way. So you may not get appreciation immediately, whether you're helping to solve your peers' problems or colleagues' problems immediately. But then, believe me, it doesn't go unnoticed. It is always there that this person is an excellent team member, excellent co-worker. So try to help each others, try to understand the problem try to share information and ideas to recognize the efforts. Yeah, and the last one is collaborate with your colleagues. What if you finish your activity, do not hesitate to extend your hand to complete their job, and do not hesitate even to seek the help. It's very important, because we have seen many times that if we get stuck at one particular stage, yeah, and we know that we don't have an answer or a solution from here on, then what do we do? In the professional world, we always go out for a consultation. We always go out for a professional consultation or an internal consultation. So always collaborate. Do not hesitate to ask for help. That's the quality your peers and your colleagues will always like it, because that shows your openness. Yeah, that this person not only ask things from for the help, but he also extend his hand for helping. So very essential attributes in the teamwork and in the team members, and essential classification and qualification, I would say. And believe me, whether it is a college or academia, or whether it is a corporate, this teamwork will always come into the picture at the end during your performance evaluation. So, my dear friend, do not take it lightly. Just believe in ourselves, and that's a tradition. I mean, we are Indian. We're considered warm all the time. When we go out, I mean, whenever my experience is that whenever we go out, travel outside India, whether it is Asian countries or European countries or American countries, one single thing which always strikes you, and which is always being applauded amongst all, and that is Indians are very warm. They are very helpful. So it's always beneath us. So we don't have to do a lot of efforts to, take out those attributes and quality. It's there. We just have to click it, and we just have to identify and recognize that we have to be a good team member. The next soft skills we're going to talk about is adaptability. Now, what is adaptability? The world is constantly changing, and so the workplace are. They are constantly shifting the trends. Yeah, when things don't go the way we thought, then we must quickly adapt with the situation. We just cannot sit that, this is what we thought and this is what we think, and things should happen in this way only, because then otherwise you lose the race, you lose the competition. So one thing remain is that you have to be positive if there is a change, and accept it rather than resist it. Adaptability. Adaptability is extremely important. Be very flexible always. And when we talk about adaptability, the most important factor when we talk about being flexible is analyze. You have to analyze the situation and then create a relative strategy. Yeah, world is adapting COVID-19 situation right now. We were never prepared for epidemic or pandemic situation. We have seen so many series in Netflix and Amazon Prime that US is saving the entire world from epidemic situation, pandemic situation. But do you really think that world was prepared in the real segment, at the real world? No. So we cannot be prepared for everything. Just try to understand that what you're experiencing today, tomorrow you may not experience the same thing. So just don't remain very rigid. Be flexible, and how you can do it is like understand the situation. So what we are doing right now is we put the lockdown. Whether lockdown was the right decision or not, we don't know. But then there are experts in both the panel which says that lockdown was right, lockdown was not right. Demonetization was right, demonetization was not right. But what is more important is that to move on, to keep moving forward. And how you move forward is to analyze, be more creative, be more flexible. You see, if we have seen a situation where we feel that we don't have an answer, then we have to be creative. We have to seek for an alternative. We have to think out of the box. We have to start doing mapping, and that's the very key. And a lot of people, a lot of experts, industry experts, they want to enter into a professional field. They want to do startups. They want to do their own business, but then very few of them can deliver it. And why this is a situation then, that when the person has such an amazing career, such an amazing degree, such an amazing talent, but then they cannot, not all of them can do what the real businessman and the startup can. And that's something. Be creative. You have to be creative, you have to be positive, and you have to come out of the situation. So that's very important aspect of the adaptability. And the last one I feel is the optimism. Think positively. Yeah, you cannot remain resilient that when we are doing, like when we are working on certain projects, it will get succeed, or and if we don't get succeed, what to do. So I've seen that people remain very positive, thinking that they will succeed, but then they don't. They many times they cannot manage the failure. So it's always better that don't be analytical, don't be predictive, just remain positive. And that's called an optimism. It will always take you to the next level. It will always take you to something which you have never imagined. So just be optimistic. What is the next aspect of soft skills? And that is problem solving. And you see, every job has a challenge. I would not think any single job does not have a challenge, whether it is a job of pharmacology experts, whether it is a job of sweeper, whether it is a job of corporate person, whether it is a job of driver or a pilot or anybody or a public speaking professional as well. They will always face challenges, but then they will always face difficulties, problems, barriers. And that's why you need a good problem solving skills. Now, what are the characteristics of an effective problem solving solver? So let's look into that. The first is identify the root cause. Yeah. When this happened, why this happened. So if we have faced a particular challenges in our sector, the most important aspect of problem solver, the attribute of problem solver, is to understand, accept, and then identify the root cause. Yeah. Otherwise, you will never able to understand that that even whatever strategy you work on, whatever project you work on, if it gets failed, if you face a challenge and you don't understand the root cause of that challenge, it will be very difficult. So always understand the root cause. So I can give you an example that in India, we are always facing changes because we are still working on, we are still a developing country. We are not a developed country. So whether it is drugs and cosmetics, whether it is food sector, or whether it is oil sector, whether it is automobile sector, every single sector is facing tremendous amendments in their regulations, facing tremendous changes. And you know, these changes can be extremely difficult and challenging for the existing players. So what they do, they adapt. Yeah, they be flexible and be honest with them, and they start working on it. So root cause is extremely important to identify the root cause is extremely important. from where it is coming, and then why. What is the next step after identifying the root cause? That's a strategy. You have to create a strategy to manage, to overcome from the situation. And now, my friend, this is called the right strategy after identification the root cause. Until you understand what is causing the problem, you will not be able to deliver, or you will not be able to plan your strategy. So that's very important in your problem solving skills. And then after that, time for an action. So you identified the root cause, you understood, you prepared your strategy, and then you are ready for the next action, because without action, kuch nahi hota hai. You have to take action on right time at a very measured instances and a very measured steps. So you have to create a goal, you have to create a strategy, and then start and take those initiations. So the next topic in the soft skills is leadership. Every single person dream about becoming a leader. Everyone wants to become a leader. Yeah. But then what attributes leadership require is something very, very important to know. You may not be a leader, you may not be in a role of leader in your team. Yeah, you may not be a leader in your college, but then what is essentially that you have those qualities. Those qualities are extremely essential to determine whether you can become a leader or not. Yeah, so leader पैदा नहीं होते, leader को बनाना पड़ता है. You have to develop those leadership skills within yourself. Yeah, you have to make an important decision and manage those situations and other people. That's the essential quality of the leader. 12 factor will decide whether you can grow beyond the job, beyond that job or not. So the leadership attributes. So let's see what exactly leadership attributes are. It's very simple. You have to be self-aware. You have to understand your behavior and its impact on the organizational outcome. So what is the most important quality and attributes of the leader is that he's being true and honest with himself and with the team. You have to look into the mirror, because आप अपने आप से तो झूठ नहीं बोल सकते. हमने कई बार देखा होगा कि there are different theories that आपको झूठ बोलना पड़ता है. कई सारी सिचुएशन ऐसी आती है कि आप झूठ नहीं बोल सकते हो. कई बार ऐसी आती है कि आपको झूठ बोलना पड़ता है. So it's always a choice. It's always a choice. But then if you are true to yourself, if you're being honest to yourself, I think the half battle is won. आप कम से कम दोस्त अपने आप से तो झूठ मत बोलो, वहीं से आप जीत जाओगे. वहीं से आपकी आधी जीत पक्की समझो, और आधी जीत आपके कर्मों से आ जाएगी. So be self-aware, be extremely honest. What is the next attribute of a leader is positive influence. What is positive influence? You have to constantly focus what we have learned just now. You have to work on team building. You have to work as an extremely good team member. You have to be vocal. You have to plan. You have to deliver. So if you deliver everything on time, if you being honest with yourself, if you help your colleagues, if you do not hesitate to seek help from your colleagues, that builds a personality which influences others, because then this person is always surrounded by the person. Yeah, if you're a silo person, अगर आप अकेले काम करना चाहते हो तो आप लीडर कभी नहीं बन सकते. You can be an individual performer, but if you want to be a leader, you have to be surrounded by the people, and for that you have to constantly work for people. You have to constantly work with people. that will create a positive influence, my dear friend. So effective communication goals with your team and inspire them to trust you will make yourself influential. Very, very important attributes of the leader. Yeah. So create always a positive aura. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with your colleagues. This will definitely make you influential. This will always work for a positive influence attributes. And the last one is decision making. You see, why half of the project goes to the back burner in most of the corporates. Yeah, you might have heard that such an amazing innovation was actually done like 50 years back, but this does not come into the picture. This does not come into the existence because of lack of decision making. And then lack of decision making can happen because of several other factors that will not go. But then the important thing is that you have to balance whether you have to go ahead or not. And then taking certain amount of risk is always important. You have to take a calculated risk. That's again a very important attribute of a leader, that हम आपको ये नहीं बोल रहे कि आप रिस्क ले लो, बिकॉज सभी रिस्क लेने वाले लीडर्स नहीं बन जाते, सभी रिस्क लेने वाले एक सक्सेसफुल एंटरप्रेन्योर नहीं बन जाते, बट जो कैलकुलेट करके रिस्क लेता है वो हमेशा ऊपर पहुंचता है 100%. When we talk about Dhirubhai Ambani, everyone knows about him. What decision he has taken? He has taken the decision that he will leave the job whatever he was doing in the petrol pump or oil industry in Gulf countries, and he came back to India and he wanted to start his own business. So he has taken calculated risk. For us, it can be a massive risk, but he calculated because he feel that I have the knowledge, I have the courage, and I know I can deliver that job. So he has taken that decision. So be honest, at the same time, be very brutally, calculated. Be very, very informative about yourself, that what you can do, what you can deliver, and this will always give you a result, always. I think the second last attribute of soft skills is, oh my God, I think it's the most important topic for cross categories, whether it is students of any age, whether it's for kids, for parents, for teachers, everyone, and that is time management. So trying to do everything at once isn't an efficient way of working. Yeah, it can often lead you to feel disorganized or stressed. So you have to decide about your timing. You have to decide that time management is a way of delegating your time for specific activities. हमारे बुजुर्गों ने कहा है, हमारे शास्त्रों में लिखा हुआ है कि हर एक चीज का एक निश्चित टाइम होना चाहिए, चाहे वो सोने का, उठने का, अपने काम करने का, या चाहे कोई भी एंजॉयमेंट करने का, एक स्पेसिफिक टाइम होना चाहिए. और जिस समय, जिस दिन भी ये टाइम का थोड़ा हेराफेरी हो गया तो आपको नेक्स्ट डे स्ट्रेस 100% आता है, आप बच नहीं सकते उस स्ट्रेस से. So therefore, it is extremely important that you focus on your time, because this will allow you to manage your workload and time effectively, so you can be as productive as possible. So I got up in the morning. I became. I thought about all the positive attributes. Yeah, I believe in myself. I smile myself in front of the. I smile in front of the mirror, and everything we have to do in an organized manner, and therefore I decided on the time as well. I have created a strategy that by this time I have to work, by this time I have to develop, by this time I have to deliver. Yeah. So I would like to say one more thing, that if you cannot work everything at once, don't worry about it. Yeah. So what you need to do is prioritize your task, complete them before they become urgent. So no one expects that you deliver all the project at once. No one expects that you complete all the studies at once. But what is more important is that prioritize that what is more important. I mean, that's what we've been learned. हम लोगों ने अपने एग्जामिनेशंस के पहले भी तो ये बहुत अच्छे से सीखा है। ये हम खुद अपने स्टूडेंट्स हैं, हम खुद डिसाइड करते थे बॉस कि कौन सा चैप्टर हमको पढ़ना है। या हम लोग सारे यूनिट्स और सारे चैप्टर्स तो कवर नहीं कर पाते, बट हम लोग ये डिसाइड करते थे कि चलो यार हम थर्मोडायनेमिक्स पढ़ लेते हैं, हम ट्रिग्नोमेट्री पढ़ लेते हैं, हम 2-3 और चैप्टर्स पढ़ लेते हैं, तो इसमें हमें अच्छे खासे मार्क्स मिल जाएंगे, पास तो हो ही जाएंगे, अच्छे खासे मार्क्स मिल जाएंगे अगर सब नहीं पढ़ते। तो what exactly is this? It is exactly a prioritization. So we need to prioritize our work and then complete them before it gets urgent. That's the way you perform your activities. When we talk about how work gets delivered in the corporates, yeah. So we do have a team which is called as a new product development team, yeah. And the essential job of the new product development coordinator or a manager or a director is to essentially watch whether everything is happening or not, on time or not. So I would like to urge yourself that try to use technology as much as you can. Try to develop the skills, tools, and techniques to utilize those soft skills come hard skills. You need to learn attributes like you need to learn Microsoft Project. You need to learn Microsoft Excel. You need to learn Microsoft PowerPoint. And that's how the job becomes very easy, because then you can, when we talk, I was explaining an example of NPD coordinator. So what he does in the corporate is that he creates the agenda and schedule. Yeah. And then there is always a time plan of individual activities. And then there is always a delay and a buffer time for each and every activity, that even if this project gets delayed with 1 or 2 days, then it's a responsibility of that NPD coordinator or of that person to highlight this to the business. So similarly, what we can do is we can always create a track sheet. We can always create a tracker that what activities we need to do in trainings, or what activities we need to do in terms of achieving our goals, achieving our dream. So if we write down that with the time, then automatically our mind starts working that, okay, now I need to become an entrepreneur by next couple of years. So what I need to do, because I have time for 2 years only. Within these 2 years, I have to take risk. I have to arrange investment. I have to arrange resources. I have to start production. I have to deliver marketing and branding expectations, and you stand in front of your competitors. So it's only 2 years, but then your mind works that within these 2 years, what exactly you need to do, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's called excellent time management. And the last one is work ethics. So when we talk about work ethics, let's spend some time on what exactly is the work ethic. Yeah? We work in a certain atmosphere. Yeah, we work in a certain set of people, and until we remain professional, people will not respect us. Until we remain honest, people will not respect us. So you have to be extremely diligent. Yeah, you have to start planning. Yeah, planning is the most important thing. When we talk about we covered this essentially in the time management, but then when we talk about work ethics, it starts with the planning, because whatever you have to deliver, being a leader, being a people manager, or be as an individual contributor, you have to plan, make a plan, project timings, and manage it. Use smart tools and techniques to manage it. Yeah. And the next part is set your goals, because until you set your goals, it will be so difficult, my dear friend, that you may not be able to achieve that success on time. And how this goal can be, yeah, we always talk about what exactly is goal and what exactly is the focus area, how we can create a goal. So one thing I would like to say, that you should always create smart goals. What are SMART goals? So SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. So your goals should always be SMART. And if you have your goals SMART, and if you work on each and every attributes of your soft skills, your time management, your leadership qualities, your individual contributor qualities, I think that's it. That's the mantra of success. And you, what is remained is like you have to deliver. You have to deliver on time. So plan it, set your goals, and deliver. That's the way you can deliver any project, or you can deliver any work, or you can achieve any success. When I talk about when I talk about work ethics, again, I would like to say that I would like just one step back. Having a strong work ethics proves that you believe your work is important. It's always being considered, right? अगर आप खुद से इतने डिसिप्लिन्ड हैं, अगर आप खुद ही के लिए इतने ऑनेस्ट हैं, तो people will always respect you. So responsibility is extremely important attributes in work ethics. And then you have to be punctual. You have to organize. You have to be organized. You meet your deadlines, and then that's how you remain focused. So therefore, what I would like to say, that the most and important attributes in your work culture is being accountable. So you have to take accountability, you have to be responsible, and you have to be answerable. So if you're a leader, whether you're a principal, whether you're a head of the department, whether you are any entrepreneur, you have to consider these three attributes in accountability, and that is responsibility, you have to be answerable, and you have to be accountable. Yeah. So whatever position you are. The second thing is about discipline. You have to no person can achieve high standards if you are not disciplined. So you need to be attentive, you need to be disciplined, you need to be accountable. That's how the good work ethics would say for. And therefore, I would like to say that no other leader can succeed without seeking a feedback. So what work ethics teaches you? I mean, we have learned a lot about individual factors of soft skills. But until you be honest and seek feedback from your colleagues, from your students, from your juniors, it will not be fruitful, because that's how you work on contingencies, mitigations plan. Yeah, if you being honest and if you really want to succeed, you will always seek for a feedback that actually maximizes your strength. Yeah, if you let's say what most of the renowned startups in India from last 2 or 3 years, I've been watching podcast, and then the startup professionals who are being awarded by Ministry of MSME and different ministries in India, what are the mantras of their success? And I have found one single similarity in each one of them is they were always ready to understand and seek feedback and then amend their strategies. Fulfill fulfill your dreams, at the same time fulfill your customers' dreams. So अगर आपने कोई सपना देखा है तो वो सपना आप तब तक के नहीं पा सकते हो, अचीव कर सकते हो, जब तक कि आप दूसरों के सपने ना पूरे कर सको. And therefore it is extremely important to seek feedback that maximizes your strength, that maximizes the company's credibility, that maximizes your own credibility. Yeah. So in this way, I finish my a small session on the soft skills. Although I would like to say that it's a massive topic, and it's quite difficult to cover in a small session. But then what I try to cover is only 2 or 3 attributes of individual soft skills. Otherwise, you can find multiple factors which can impact one single soft skills. But then every time you see one or a single similarity in one of them. Yeah. So if you focus on these 3 or 4 attributes in individual soft skills, and if you work on yourself, if you work on it, I don't think you need anything else. That's the one you are from start. हम जब बचपन में छोटे रहते हैं ना, बच्चे रहते हैं, तब आप what you are true to yourself. Yeah. एंड आप हो कैसे, आप अपने आप से सच कभी नहीं छुपाते, आप दूसरों से सच नहीं छुपाते, आप सच बोलते हो. आपको अगर कुछ नहीं समझता है तो आप पूछते हो कैसे करना है. एंड दैट्स हाउ द लाइफ इज. सो यू हैव टू बी अकाउंटेबल, डिसिप्लिन, एंड देन ऑलवेज रेडी टू टेक feedbacks. Thank you very much, and I think I'm ready to take any questions. I apologize in case if I miss any of the comments, because I was not looking into that. But then I would really appreciate if whoever have questions, please unmute, and then happy to answer.
It was really a wonderful presentation, sir, and you have covered many components of personality development, and it was really honest and true expression actually on this particular topic. I am very much thankful to you. I request participants, if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat box or unmute yourself and ask, please.
Thank you. Yeah. I would like to say one more thing in case someone is taking time, that even in case if you have questions after the session, please pass it on to Mitali ma'am or Keshav sir, and I'm happy to take those questions offline too. So
Sure, sir, sure.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, you can.
Hello, good morning,
ask.
Smita.
Sir, I hear your session is very important for me in day-to-day life and working. Sir, my question regarding the communication part. Sir, one thing you have to explain in the session, that is how to stand in front of the boss or officer.
Are you talking? Okay, exactly. So if I understand your question correctly, are you talking about the body language or?
Sir, I'm talking about the body language. What will be the posture of the body in front of the officers or in front of the bosses?
Very good question, Smita. I think the most easiest way to answer your question is the comfortable position. Because
Okay.
if you stand comfortably, it will reflect on your face, it will reflect on your gesture, and this will make other person comfortable. but that does not mean आप कोई भी अलग सा posture बना के खड़े हो जाओ. So what is important is that you stand in front with open arm. Don't be close, like कई बार आप हाथ fold, sorry, I can, like हाथ fold कर देते हैं या pocket में हाथ डाल देते हैं. So that is not a right body posture when you go to your peers or your sir to seek a feedback. You should always be in a comfortable position and you should always feel open. So agar aap if you feel open from your inside, if you feel comfortable from your inside, automatically this will reflect in your body. Trust me, लोग बहुत मेहनत करते हैं बॉडी लैंग्वेज को ठीक करने के लिए, बट माय मंत्रा टू करेक्ट योर बॉडी लैंग्वेज इज, यू नो, वर्क ऑन योर इनर फीलिंग्स. Once you start feeling positive about yourself, at the same time, once you start feeling positive about your peers, about your other colleagues, about the person whom you go to, automatically this will come in your body language and gesture. So that's the best way. But yeah, the few key things are that you have to refrain some unprofessional body language and closed gestures. That's it, and with
Okay,
a
okay.
smile, of course. I think
Yes, yes.
that's the key, because smile wins hearts. Whether you go to your younger generation or your peers. So that's all.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
You're most welcome. या तो समझ में नहीं आया है.
Sir, can I ask you one question?
Please, ma'am, please.
Sometimes, a very important work, we see that when we work in a team, some of the persons are very reluctant to do the work, and they have their own thoughts about it. Then how, and it may be because of the past experiences or the past things which have occurred. So how to make them streamline, how to motivate them is a big task. So can you please?
Absolutely. I think you rocked on with the most challenging situations we face every single time in our professional career, and that's something like uh, uh, if the other person is closed, if the other person is quite uh, reluctant with their own strategy and he's not open, then how can we work with them? And I think that's where the emotional intelligence would work, ma'am. And what emotional intelligence is, that you have to empathize with that person first. Yeah. So if that person is closed, if that person is reluctant, we need to identify the root cause of that particular attribute, that why he is reluctant. Maybe he is not happy with any of your any of the past experiences with you. So it's always better to be brutally honest with your colleagues. That I would not say that this will be the first option, but then if you face this situation constantly, the best way to go is that open up and then say that I need to talk to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something which is bothering me, and I need to clarify with you as a friend, and I need your help. And that's how it breaks the resilience. That's when this person gets open. Yeah, and therefore emotional intelligence is something which is extremely important, and that connects your mind with others' mind. It's not only mind, it's also heart. So it's heart and mind connection with others.
It has something to do with the spiritual things also, I think.
Exactly. Everything is covered in our in our scriptures and shastra. So we day to day life we learn, but then we forget. So it's important to learn from those. You're correct.
Thank you so much, sir. You have answered in a
Sir,
very nice manner. Yes,
sir, I
any?
have one last question, sir. Sir, whenever we want to put true things in front of our officer, but they are not ready to listen us. At the time, at that situation, what to do?
So you want to put across your perspective, and the officer is not ready to listen to you. Is that a question?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, well, when we talk about communication, there is not an immediate answer for everything. There is not an immediate solution for everything. So again, it is quite a similar question to what Mitali ma'am has asked, that if that person is closed, if that person is reluctant and not ready to listen, you need to identify the reason why he's closed, and there can be number of reasons. Yeah, and therefore you need to take help from your peers, and that's called the good team members attribute, is that if you cannot crack down a certain individual. For example, in our corporate role, we come across many bureaucrats. We come across many secretaries, principal secretaries, which does not understand the logic and perspective. And especially when when a non-technical person sits there and he challenges on your technicalities, it becomes even more difficult. Yeah, because you understand your job well, but then that person doesn't understand and he's still closed. So how you manage is that, how we deal with this situation is that a constant effort, and you try to rectify his closure. You do representations that, okay, if you are not ready to understand that, I'm ready to do this delegations. Like if I can't take any particular topic, but then, for example, if I'm talking about any particular formulation, yeah, any particular pharmaceutical formulation planned for to be as a nutraceutical as well as a pharmaceutical, and the officer is reluctant. He's saying that no, I cannot approve this formulation because this formulation doesn't exist in India, or this formulation is not approved in our literatures. So how you can do is that you can take the references. So every time we deliver, we always take references of research studies done in Harvard University, research study done in Boston University. What this helps is that it builds up the credibility. So you have to build up the credibility of yourself, at the same time your project or your matter through which you're proposing. That's how you can make that person understand and make that person feel open about your proposals, I would say.
Okay, okay, sir. Will do.
But again,
In
you
my
have to constantly work on it. You have to constantly work on it. So you have to be patient. I think patience is the most important quality to deal with the difficult personality. So you have to remain patient, be calm, composed, and then start again. Yeah, keep moving forward.
Thank you, sir.
okay,
It was
thank you, sir.
really good explanation. Really. I now request Moril sir to propose the vote of
Uh,
thanks.
Sir, not a sort of question. You have covered a part uh, as a part as answer to Mitali madam. Uh, this may seem weird to all, but a question always peeps in my mind. Suppose I have been given a task or some assignment to do that involves uh, n number of colleagues, and out of those colleagues, if these some of those are senior to me, say by 10 or 20 years, how to get work done from my seniors by age and experience, I'm saying. So at each time emotional connect does not work.
Good question, sir.
Yeah. Each time emotional quotient doesn't connect. I fully agree with you, sir. But then that's when the other attributes of soft
Right,
skills would come. Yeah.
right.
So emotional quotient or emotional intelligence is one of the attribute which you have to inculcate in yourself to develop your personality. But then you have to constantly work on your deliveries, because if your peers and seniors are still not accepting it, so maybe they have certain experiences that this or preconceived notions that these this work may not be possible, or you may not be able to deliver, or one it's not the right concept. But then therefore you have to create a right strategy. You have to create a right information for them, and then show them how you can deliver. So you have to create a proper project plan. And I'm pretty sure that if you have a strong projection towards your proposal, it will definitely click it one day. It will definitely click it. So we that's the reason we, when we talk about here, we have to work on communications, we have to work on teamwork, adaptability. So when you ask about emotional intelligence doesn't work, then you have to work on your communication. So maybe you have to change your communication slightly. Yeah, use different communications methods, not verbal. Then choose vision. Yeah, you explain in the form of project report or in a form of presentation, and then show if with each timing and deliveries the entire plan, and this will definitely make you succeed.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of organizing committee of Gurunanak College of Pharmacy, I thank you, sir, for sparing your valuable time and delivering such a nice lecture. It was informative and it covered all the certain nuances. There are many people who deliver lectures on soft skills, but for me, there are three takeaway messages that I personally feel important. That having soft skill is not sufficient merely, but clubbing them and integrating them is more important. This is my first takeaway message. Second, हार्ड स्किल प्लस सॉफ्ट स्किल आर नेसेसरी. पिछले साल मुझे स्टूडेंट का परसेंट अटेंडेंस निकालना था, मैं इंडिविजुअल निकल रहा था, लेकिन मेरे एक कलीग ने मुझे बताया कि एक्सेल में कैसे निकालते हैं. सो दैट सेव्ड माय टाइम ईच टाइम. एंड थर्ड इज ऑलवेज हैव फीडबैक. बहुत बार हम ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस में आ जाते हैं कि मुझे बोलना आता है, मेरी बॉडी लैंग्वेज अच्छी है, लेकिन इज इट, एम आई एबल टू डिलीवर द कंटेंट्स टू द पर्सन इन फ्रंट ऑफ मी. इसका हम फीडबैक लेना टाइमली आवश्यक है. So with this note, I thank you all the participants for connecting with us. Thank you once again, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. And it's truly an honor and a pleasure to be connect with you in front of the entire Gurunanak Pharmacy College faculties. Sorry, someone is saying in between.
Yes, शायद Ravi Kalsait, sir.
हाँ sir, good morning. Thank you for your kind guidance and very good presentation. बस टेक अवे मैसेज मुझे एक ख्याल आया तो मला सभी के लिए एक बार मैं बोल देता हूँ, अगर आपकी परमिशन होगी तो.
जी सर, डेफिनेटली.
बस वो हिंदी में एक मुझे ख्याल याद आया, अगर रिश्ते मजबूत, अगर झुकने से अगर रिश्ते मजबूत होते हो तो झुक जाओ, अगर नहीं हो रहे होंगे तो रुक जाओ. और जहाँ रुकना
क्या
है
बात है.
फिर शुरू कर दो.
क्या बात है. Very well said, sir. Very well said in a very important words, and बहुत ही उम्दा तरीके से आपने ये सीखा. मैं इनफैक्ट ये मेरे लिए सीख है.
क्रिस्प वर्ड, सॉरी, क्रिस्प लैंग्वेज में सही बताया.
You have to learn constantly, and you learn every time with everyone. So glad to be here in front of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Madam,
Yes,
I think Kalsait sir is a good husband.
Yeah.
Sir, namaskar sir.
He is a good person.
Namaskar,
That's a
Kalsait.
great quality of person, having soft skills. So definitely.
Thank you so much.
Thank
It
you,
was
sir.
wonderful presentation. I think Nilesh Ugemuge sir has joined. Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir, and
Good afternoon, ma'am.
welcome you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Is Rasala sir over there? Yes, Rasala sir. You can start with the introduction because some of them were not present in that session, last session. So you can have the introduction of our speaker.
Yes, madam. Thank you, madam. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yes.
So, good afternoon to one and all present here. Good afternoon to the principal, Dr. A. M. Itarwa, Gurunanak Pharmacy, the coordinator of these STTP, and Dr. Mitali Bodankar, the faculty, and all my dear delegates. On behalf of the Sikh Education Society, the Gurunanak Pharmacy, I welcome you all for the second session of fifth day STTP, sponsored by AICT, organized by Gurunanak Pharmacy, Nagpur. I take this opportunity to introduce our speaker, Dr. Nilesh Ugemuge, who is very energetic and a dynamic personality. Sir, जब मैंने आपका बायोडेटा देखा था, तो within this short period of time, I think you're having 12 years of teaching experience, but I think you have achieved a number of milestones in this short period of time. That is 12 years of teaching experience. Sir, really it is inspirational and motivational. So Dr. Nilesh Ugemuge is working as assistant professor in the Department of Physics at Anand Niketan College, Anandwan, Varora. He is a single point of contact for NPTEL, MOOC and SWAYAM, National Program on Technology Enhanced Learning, which is a project of MHRD and initiated by the IITs. Previously, he worked as head Department of Applied Physics and a student coordinator with the Priyadashini College of Engineering, Nagpur. He is also faculty advisor, IST student chapter, coordinator remote center, IIT Bombay PC for IST workshops under NMEICT, MHRD Government of India. His area of interest are teaching and research aptitude, human resource management, industrial relation, labor welfare, condensed matter physics, and luminescence. Sir is having double PhD. He has been awarded PhD in physics and PhD in management from RTM Nagpur University, Nagpur. He has qualified 7 times UGC NET examination in the field of management and social work. He has cleared SET examination in social work. He did his master's degree in physics from Department of Physics, RTM Nagpur University, Nagpur. He also completed PG Diploma in Human Resource Management from Ahmedabad. He completed MA in Economics and Econometrics, MA in Public Administration, Masters in Social Work, B.Ed and BSc from RTF Nagpur University, Nagpur. He has also completed DVM and CVM, that is Vedic Mathematics from Sanskrit Vidyapit, Ramtek. He has published 15 books and edited almost more than 30 books for Berhampur University, Utkal University, Bharati Vidyapit and Uttarakhand Open University with HPS and DNA publication. He is also in editorial board of DNA publication. He published monograms with IGI Global USA. He has published several research papers in various national and international journals and is also a reviewer for various international journals. He having almost 12 years of teaching experience. He is empaneled trainer at MSCD for Entrepreneurship Development Program. He is associated with various professional bodies like Indian Society for Technical Education, Luminescence Society of India, International Association of Engineers, Shikshan Sanstha Uttanyas. So with this brief introduction, now I request Dr. Nilesh Ugemuge sir to enlighten us with his presentation on the topic entrepreneurship, startup and the technology transfer. Sir, please start your presentation. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Rasala sir, for a detailed introduction. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Bodankar ma'am, for inviting me again in this STTP. Also, I thanks to Dr. Vittadwar sir, thanks to Dr. Mohil sir, for inviting me in this workshop or the STTP. And this is my second session in this STTP, so I'm very much privileged, and yes, I'm very much happy to share my thoughts again with the same participants second time. Dear friends, as already Sir has told about today's topic, like entrepreneurship, startups, and technology transfer. So today I will be sharing somewhat technical aspects related to the startups and technology transfer, how to go ahead for the incubation center and all. So I would like to share my presentations so that that will be convenient for us. So just 2 minutes. Yeah, it's a disabled from host, ma'am. Yeah, I'm unable to share my PPT, so please enable.
मैडम सर को co-host बना दीजिए.
Yeah.
बोधनकर मैडम. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So in today's session, I am going to share my views about again entrepreneurship. I will continue with my previous session where I left for 5 to 10 minutes. Then I will proceed to the startups and technology transfer. So this is what I'm going to cover in today's session. So always, my dear friends, question arises: why to enter into entrepreneurship? So always we are having a picture like Dhirubhai Ambani or the Ratan Tata ji, Ajim Premji, Narayan Murthy, and all like that. But dear friends, there are small entrepreneurs as well. They are also doing well in our country, in entire world as well. So we have to think about them as, even though while working with academics, we can have certain ventures, we can have certain consultancy, so that we can help someone else to get into the domain of entrepreneurship and all like that. So that is why we have to think about entrepreneurship. And whenever we are thinking about entrepreneurship now, as a entrepreneur, I will share my some of the thought, or as an entrepreneur, what, why you, how to indulge into the entrepreneurship. So the first thing, as everyone knows about the profit. Profit means what? As we know, the freedom from the limits of standardized pay for standardized work. As we know, we all are working in working into the domain of teaching and learning. So as we have certain restrictions of the time, restrictions of the work. There is a certain paradigm, there is certain frame of reference within which we need to work. And once we think about entrepreneurship, then as you know, definitely that boundaries will be crossed, and there should not be any kind of the boundaries. Another thing will be there, like independence, so freedom from supervision and the rules of bureaucratic organizations. So as everyone has to, whatever our position, we may be the principal, we may be the director, we may be the faculty, assistant professor, associate, whatever, whosoever, there must be certain framework within which we need to work. And once we enter into the domain of entrepreneurship, then we will be our own boss. That is what really difference between the any of the job and the entrepreneurship, and that is why we need to enter. And another one is satisfying way of life, so that we are having freedom from routine, boring, unchallenging jobs. That happens always. So dear friends, that day I left with a certain word like E square MC. That was one of the theory, because I am a physicist, and I had a task to write one paper when I did my MBA. At that moment, I wrote one paper that was just like E square MC, wherein I have given the theory like that. E means the first E that I have written like exploitation, and that I have just connected to the age, like just what we can say, from 0 to 25, like that. Exploitation means, as we know, we can exploit ourselves. As we know, our teachers exploit as a student. Everything like that. That we cannot exactly take that term, but we can. So then there is a first stage that we can say like exploitation. Then after 25 to 35, in another E, you can go for the exploration. Whatever knowledge you can gain during your education, that you can explore for for again gaining the skill as we are doing. When we are joining as assistant professor, then we know initially for 5 to 10 years we need to understand what exactly university does, what exactly there is a role of teacher, what is the role of teacher, what is the role of students, that we need to understand. That is the second E, that I can say E square, then M. So once we cross next phase of 5 years, like, so exploitation, then exploration, then you can go ahead for the managing, then ultimately you can become associate professor or the head of the department, and then you need to manage the thing. So earlier challenges were different, now your challenges are different. So accordingly you need to think about managing, that is E square M. And now in next latter stage of your life, like after 45 to 55, so you have to go ahead for the MC. C is nothing but the consulting. So that in that way we have to think our life, we have to categorize the span of our life, and in which span we need to work in what capacity, like exploitation, exploration, managing, and the consulting. And it is different for different person as well. And if we write that particular theory for ourselves, then today I'm going to share one more slide, like retire in peace. So that definitely we can achieve, reach not only in the sense of wealthier, but reach in the sense of knowledge as well. And yesterday I have just spelled one word like a KSAs. Dear friends, always everyone has to remember like KSAs: knowledge, skills, and attributes. So in education system only we can get a knowledge, but once we implement that knowledge for gaining something, then we know we can enhance our skill set. And for that we need to undergo from variety of trainings, and that is what really essentials. And what I learn or what I am today, that is only because of training after my education. After that we can see like attributes or the attitudes will be developed. So this is what we can have once we think about E square MC. Now, just again with this, let me continue about entrepreneurship. As we know, there are certain drawbacks of business ownership or the entrepreneurship as well. The first one is, as we know, the uncertainty of income. है ना, जॉब करते हैं अपन तो पता है कि महीने के एंड में सैलरी मिलने वाली है. बट एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में, as we know, everything is uncertain, where we can achieve the break even point, where we can achieve whatever the desired profit and all like that. Another thing is risk of losing entire investment, that may also happen. That I also realize that particular thing in my life as well. So but we don't have to give up at that moment. We have to come out of that, and really again, if we inspired from that and if we learn from the previous experiences, then definitely this risk of losing entire investment, that we can neglect in our life as well. Then long hours and hard work. As we know, as entrepreneurs, we cannot think like 10 to 5, we cannot think like 8 to 3, we cannot think like 8 hours, 7 hours or the 5 hour job. So there should be long hours, and we need to do the hard work. Then lower quality of life until the business gets established. Sometime it happens, and always we are looking already. I spelled certain terms like, or the names like Dhirubhai Ambani, Jim Premji. But if we go into their previous life, like Steve Jobs, then we will come to know how they survive, how they had their different lifestyle in earlier days, and how they come out of that, and how they are. So only because of entrepreneurship. Otherwise, as we know, we cannot think like a thing for the BMW or the Mercedes Benz. We are always restricted to the Skoda and all like that. And again, another thing is the complete responsibility that we need to take in at workplace. So we have certain portfolio, and we are only responsible for that. मुझे अगर एक पेपर पढ़ाना है तो I will be responsible for the result of only single paper. But if I am running my institutions, then I must be responsible for each and everything of my institutions. I cannot say that this is what my particular task. So that is what difference in terms of entrepreneurship and academics or anything like that, or the job. Now let me share some of the key features or the characteristics of successful entrepreneurs. So if we look into any of the entrepreneur, then we'll come to know everyone must have a passion of winning, passion of achieving something in their life, and because of that they are entering into the domain of entrepreneurship. Then persistency, always they have tenacity, always they have त्यांना चिकाटी असते, उनको अपनी एक लगन है कि यस मुझे ये करना है, आई हैव टू डू, आई कैन डू, आई हैव टू डू, आई मस्ट डू. That kind of attitude they have, high need for achievement. Yes, they are always thinking yes achievement. Then again, willingness to take measured risk, they are also taking risk, and entrepreneurship is all about risk, taking the risk. But again, one word is here, measured risk, and that always save to the entrepreneurs. Otherwise no one can enter into the domain of entrepreneurship. Everyone thought like yes, job is good, job is good, job is good. So this is what measured risk is the best keyword in terms of entrepreneurship. Then self confidence and self reliance. Every entrepreneur has their self confidence on themselves and self reliance, high energy level, as we can see how they are energetic. And dear friends, yesterday, while discussing lifesavers approach, I have shared my thought about health and all like that. Dear friends, if we see the entrepreneurs, they are yes, they wake up around 4 a.m. Or you may be knowing about there is one book by Robin Sharma, 5 a.m. Club. So read such type of the books and in which he has written what entrepreneur does, what entrepreneurs do like that, and that is what we need to. So and once we are shifting from whatever paradigm we have to the another paradigm, then definitely we can achieve something in our life as well. And again, another thing is desire for responsibility. Yes, they have strong desire for the responsibility what they have. So now this is what yes, what I think for the entrepreneurship means, why we need to enter into the domain of entrepreneurship, and what is exactly entrepreneurship and how entrepreneurship, that also I will be sharing in my coming slides. So dear friends, I left with this slide that day, but I would like to share, I would like to highlight on this particular slide. So the first thing, my dear friends, just you prepare your money, my money blueprint. Prepare your money blueprint, that everybody has to. Don't wait some mutual fund advisor will come to you, some financial advisor will come to you and explain, yes, yes, this is what you need to save, this is what you need to spend, and all like that. Don't wait for someone else, dear friends. We all are educated. We all are having plenty of knowledge, and as we know, whatever I am taking, that I am taking from Google or the internet. Everyone is taking like that now. Now we know. So just explore with a very appropriate keyword. So definitely we will get an answer for each and every question. So you must have your money blueprint. Means at what age, how much amount is required to enjoy a quality of life. I'm using the word quality of life. And in that way, you need to prepare, you need to work hard, and then we can explore and we can manage time effectively. Once we have the money blueprint, then we never cry for anything like that. Another thing is that is what the meaning of money blueprint, so that you can prepare as people are doing like that. Okay, for my daughter's marriage, for my daughter's education, or the son's education, this much amount is required to me, and accordingly they are doing saving. But while doing saving, they are not thinking more about investment. So my dear friends, don't think only for saving, think for investment at the same time. And investment, that again you need to think for the risky investment as well. Then another thing is money should work for you. So once you invest your money into good instrument, then definitely money should work for you. So money is always loyal employee. As we know, money is not going to sleep. पैसे कभी सोएंगे नहीं. अगर बैंक में भी, अगर सपोज if you earn 1 CR and you once you invest 1 CR into the bank, then what will happen? You must get 70,000, 80,000, 7%. If we think 7% rate of interest, then 70,000 you must get per monthly. So that money is not going to sleep. कुछ काम भी नहीं करना पड़ेगा आपको सिर्फ, लेकिन पहले मेहनत करना पड़ेगा 1 CR कमाने के लिए. तो 1 CR कमा के इन्वेस्ट करिए, एंड इफ यू आर स्मार्ट इन्वेस्टर, then you are not going to dump your money into the into where, into the banks. So you must invest into the real market. You must invest into debentures, bonds, or the shares and all like that. So and from that you can earn around 15,000, 15%, 20% profit per month and all like that. So that also you can learn and earn. है ना, पुराने जमाने में कहावत थी कि लर्न एंड अर्न. नाउ दैट यू कैन अप्लाई फॉर अवर लाइफ. है ना, कि अभी ठीक है ना, वो लर्निंग तो मतलब बेसिक लर्निंग तो अपनी खत्म होगी. नाउ एवरीवन, आई होप ऑल आर पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट, डॉक्टरेट्स. So now learning, that kind of learning is enough now. Now we need to shift our paradigm. We need to learn some different things so that we can enjoy what we required, we can enjoy, we can get recognition, we can be wealthier as well. So another thing is compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. So dear friends, as already have been shared, if you have 1 CR and again if you are not using 70,000 per month which you are getting for a year, then almost it may be around 10, just what we can say 10 lakhs 10 lakhs or the 7 lakhs interest per annum. So once again that will be invested into the bank. Again in next year it may be around 1 CR plus 7 lakhs, like around 1.7 and all like that. In that way your amount will be grown and all like that, everybody knows. So dear friends, let me just explain this particular slide. Really it is my very much favorite slides. Our education system, what exactly, what is the difference, what is the what kind of education system we have. And I am not right person to blame the education system, but we need to change. We need to aware our students as well from a very first year, how and where you need to enter, what exactly the kind of world. Dear friends, let me share when I enter in the domain of MBA or the management. At that moment I didn't know about the long form of LPG. I was saying in my interview like a liquefied petroleum gas. Dear friends, that in that kind of what we can say lacking of knowledge we have. So that we know the LPG in the context of management, they expect from me liberalization, privatization, globalization. So that kind of illiteracy that I can say we have. Although I was postgraduate at that moment from the domain of science, but इतना भी तो थोड़ा सा अवेयरनेस भी अपने स्टूडेंट्स को नहीं होता है. तो ये एक अवेयरनेस करके देना है. और अपने एजुकेशन सिस्टम में जो लैकुनाज है, जो अपने सबको पता है, अपन सबको सेम तरीके से अपन उनको अपन ये करते काउंट करते हैं. अपने बच्चों को भी अपन ऐसे ही करते हैं, स्टूडेंट्स को, कि सबको मार्क्स 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 एक रेस बना के रखी है अपन ने. ऐसा नहीं है, हर एक का अपना अपना इंटरेस्ट है. सो उनके इंटरेस्ट के अकॉर्डिंगली अपन ने उनको ट्रीट करना चाहिए. एंड फॉर दैट अगेन जस्ट आई एम गोइंग टू शेयर व्हाट आई थिंक. We have to categorize student on the basis of their interest. Like category means we have to categorize them in the domain, for the domain of entrepreneurship, for competitive examination, for placement, or again some other aspects like that. And accordingly we have to train them along with what we are doing regularly, like as a subject and all like that. So this is what kind of thing we can do. So our education system, what exactly what we are doing in our education system, सबको बोलते हैं पेड़ पे चढ़ो. और ये हाथी को भी बोलेंगे पेड़ पे चढ़ो, मछली को भी बोलेंगे, कुत्ते को भी बोलेंगे, डॉग को बोलेंगे, मंकी को बोलेंगे. लेकिन पता है अपने को कि who is better to yes climb on tree? Only the monkey. But the rest, they have their peculiarity, they have their characteristics. So accordingly we have to treat them. That is what we need to understand. सो यस अगेन वन मोर स्टेटमेंट बाय रतन टाटा जी. जब तक अध्ययन का मकसद सिर्फ नौकरी पाना हो, तब तक हमारे समाज में नौकर पैदा होते हैं, मालिक नहीं. दोस्तों, डियर फ्रेंड्स, मैं भी जब 10 साल टेक्निकल एजुकेशन में था तो मुझे हमेशा ही जब भी पेरेंट्स आते थे तो वो पहले दिन जब एडमिशन के लिए आते थे पूछते थे यहाँ का प्लेसमेंट कितना होता है. एंड इवन तो मैं भी मेरे बच्चों को बहुत बार एक जोक के जैसा भी बताता था कि आने के बाद में क्या प्लेसमेंट का सिनेरियो है ना, ऑल लाइक दैट. So dear friends, why placement? Why not entrepreneurship? Pharmaceutical education, engineering education is not meant for getting job. This is not like a BA, BCom, BSc, like a basic education. These educations itself meant to become entrepreneur. It's a professional educations. That kind of culture we need to imbibe among the students, and that is what IIT do. IIT, NIT, or the other institutions of repute or the national institution of repute, what they are doing, they are they have imbibed into their philosophy. Yes, this is what exactly. That is why most of the entrepreneurs are coming out of the national institutes of national importance and all like that. Now again, one more thing I observed while reading and observing number of people, there are certain secrets of 1% people, and the 1% people means the entrepreneurs. I am talking about them. There are entrepreneurs. कितने हैं पूरे world में? 1% are the entrepreneur. They are ruling on the world basically. How you can say? जो भी हमें, मैं भी यहाँ पे जो ब्लेजर पहना हूँ, जो मेरे पास पेन है, जो हेडफोन है, किसकी वजह से है? Why we have स्पेक्टेकल किसकी वजह से? ओनली बिकॉज ऑफ एंटरप्रेन्योर्स. अगर उन्होंने स्पेक नहीं बनाया होता तो आई कुडंट वियर इट ना, नहीं वियर कर सकता था मैं. तो वॉट एवर वी हैव ओनली बिकॉज ऑफ एंटरप्रेन्योर्स, and these are the 1% people. They are deciding what we can wear, which car we can drive. That is only decided by the entrepreneurs, my dear friends, that we have to accept it. ये एक्सेप्ट करना अपने को बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि वो डिसाइड कर रहे हैं कि अपने मतलब क्या क्या अपन पहनेंगे. am I right? तो ये that is what really essentials. They have what they have. What are the secrets of them? Only first thing, they have knowledge of investment. They knows where to invest and where we are lagging most of the times. Whenever we are talking, है ना, जब मैं ग्रेजुएशन कर रहा था, शेयर मार्केट की अगर बात करे कोई, तो इट वाज जस्ट लाइक अ गैम्बलिंग. यही इसी तरीके से ट्रीट किया जाता था. अगर किसी ने बात भी करना मतलब गुना था. बट दोस्तों, रियली माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, नाउ वी आर a teaching fraternity, we are almost colleagues of each other. So think about it, think and teach our students as well. यस, ये भी एक डोमेन है जिसमें आप सीख सकते हो, जिसके बेसिस पे आप you can start your own startups and all like that. Once you earn money, then definitely you will be able to. अपने यहाँ क्या होता है, अपन उनको बोलते हैं, सजेस्ट करते हैं कि पहले एक आधा नौकरी ढूंढ ले, फिर पैसे जमा करने के बाद में एंटरप्राइज में जा. ऐसा होता है क्या? अपन भी वही सोच के यहाँ एंट्री किया था, कुछ नया, अच्छा होगा अच्छा होगा अच्छा होगा, फिर आदत लग जाती है, फिर अगेन वी आर gaining age and all like that, and with that we can't do what we expected or what we desired. So that is what investment का एक knowledge होता है एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को, वो अगर अपन ने भी सीखना चाहिए. दूसरा होता है they knows about the money management skill, how to manage their money effectively, that they know. Another thing is money at direct work. As I told you about passive income, that day I have been shared the 7R theory of wealthier 7R theory. So that is what from that you can think about passive income, royalty, then again the rights and returns and the rent. You can think about these four passive income, so that we will be able to gain more wealth. And then drive your own vehicle, do not trust anyone. What they are doing, they are driving their own vehicle. अपन तो पूछते हैं यार, इन्वेस्टमेंट करना है तो बाजू वाले दोस्त को पूछते हैं कौन सा म्यूचुअल फंड अच्छा है. अरे बट उसने ही कभी इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं किया है, तो अपने को कहाँ से बताएगा? इतना अच्छा इंटरनेट है, इतना अच्छा नॉलेज है, इतने अच्छे नाउअडेज वेबिनार्स है, उसको उसको सुनिए, कहीं इन्वेस्ट करिए. देयर आर सर्टेन सेमिनार्स लाइक दैट, उसमें कहीं अपन ने कॉस्ट इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं. अपन जब एजुकेशन में अपन इतनी फीस पे करते थे लैक्स में, तो अभी ये थोड़ा सा लर्निंग के लिए 5,000 10,000 तो अपन कभी भी इन्वेस्ट करते हैं. तो इन दैट वे वी नीड टू थिंक. देन पे यूर सेल्फ फर्स्ट. एज अ एंटरप्रेन्योर दे आर पेइंग देमसेल्व्स फर्स्ट, दे आर नॉट थिंकिंग लाइक दैट, है ना. अपन क्या करते हैं कि मैं अभी मेरे एंटरप्राइज में काम करूँ तो मेरी सैलरी तो निकलनी चाहिए ना. आफ्टर दैट वॉट एवर यू आर गेटिंग, दैट विल बी योर प्रॉफिट. So initially you cannot think like that. So pay yourself first. These are the secrets of the entrepreneurs, my dear friends. We need to accept it and we need to work upon this particular slide, so that we will be able to create the wealth. Then as we know, investment everybody knows, you know, as we all are faculty, so this is not new thing for us. Now that day I have been shared about 7R theory of wealth creation, and here you can see creation of a pipeline, like a bucket and pipeline. I have given the example of Bruno and Paulo, I think, from the book The Parable of Pipeline by Burke Hedges. So I hope you might have that book, or you have purchased that book and you are reading the same one. Another thing, another lesson, let me share with you: poor people work, rich people network. So my dear friends, create a network, है ना. हमेशा वर्क करने की काम नहीं होती, अगर एक नेटवर्क अच्छा क्रिएट हुआ, तो आई एम टेलिंग यू डियर फ्रेंड्स, आई वाज डेस्परेट since yesterday. I am telling you, I was desperate to deliver my session with Midcon. I don't know what exactly I came to know about Midcon. Midcon is also one of the agency. They are organizing training, and yesterday fortunately I got an invitation for 2 sessions. After this session I have to deliver one session for Midcon, and again on I think first of next month I have to deliver another session. So I was only thinking for that, and what happened, why that kind of invitation reached to me? Only because of my network. I initially I create my network, and some officer with MSME with whom I have shared my session one day. So from them I got that particular invitation from the Midcon. So this is what kind of the things happened only because of network. So my dear friends, here it's a very nice opportunity to we all people to connect with each other, and so that we can gain what we expect to gain in our life, like that. Another thing is net worth depend upon your network. Again, one thing you remember always, whatever net worth, whatever the wealth you have, that is always depending upon network. आज मेरी जो वर्थ आप मतलब जो मेरे बायोडाटा में पढ़ा गया, दैट इज ओनली बिकॉज ऑफ माई नेटवर्क ऑफ द फ्रेंड्स. हम लोग पहले से ये सोचते थे कि हमको कहीं ना कहीं रीच होना है. रीच मुझे तो पता था कि अपन अगर वी आर इनटू द डोमेन ऑफ एजुकेशन, तो अपन तो कोई बहुत रीच मतलब अपन कोई मर्सिडीज एंड ऑडी से तो नहीं घूम पाएंगे. लेकिन अपना अगर कुछ नई इमेज, नई आइडेंटिटी, नई पहचान क्रिएट करते हैं, तो कहीं ना कहीं तो कुछ ना कुछ तो रिकॉग्निशन तो मिलेगा ही. दैट इज व्हाट I always imagine during my education or during my graduation days. And now, dear friends, now literally the same thing is happening with me. So जैसे बोलते हैं ना कि हम लोग हमेशा बोलते थे कि देर इज वन एडेज, लाइक हिंदी में जैसे अभी एक सर ने भी बोला था, तो मैं भी दो लाइन बोलता हूँ कि मंजिलें भी जिद्दी है, मंजिलें भी जिद्दी है, रास्ते भी जिद्दी है. मंजिलें भी जिद्दी है, रास्ते भी जिद्दी है, देखते हैं कल क्या होगा, क्योंकि हमारे हौसले भी जिद्दी है. उन्हीं हौसले के साथ हम सब में काम करना चाहिए, हम सब ने, और हम उन्हीं हौसलों के साथ काम करते आए हैं. So ये buckets or pipelines I have given this example in my last session. So I'm not repeating this. This is the again 7R area of wealth creation. You can think on these all 7R. And being a teaching fraternity, being into the education sector, we are a good educator, we are a good researcher, and we can have a very high scope to earn passive income from royalty and the rights. So these two are for us. And you can think for patent, you can think for intellectual property rights like a copyrights, patent, trademarks. Even though we can give consultancy for the same as well. So we need to think. You may be knowing about patent agent in your pharmaceutical sector. It's a really a highly demanding field wherein we cannot imagine how much they can be earned. So in that way, we can think for the same. So as we know, the return on investment, as everybody knows, like a mutual funds via SIP. So with the help of that, we can have like a flexible investment, disciplined investment, and all like that. That everybody knows. I hope you are also doing. And if we have we can see the projection of wealth with the 15%. So you can see like for 1,000 SIP for, you can see 10 years, you may get 2.79 lakhs. But at the after 35 years, your 1,000 continuously for 35 years, you must for that you must get what, 1.49 crores. And instead of that 1,000, if we go for 10,000 monthly, then my dear friends, at the age of 35, or just if you start investment, suppose at the age of 20, so at the age of 55, you must have 15 crore. कहाँ चाहिए यार रिटायरमेंट, कहाँ रिटायरमेंट के बाद जॉब करने की जरूरत है. अगर अपने को प्रॉपर नॉलेज है उन सब चीजों का, और अगर अपने तो 20वें एज में अगर अपन ने शुरू किया होता है कि इन्वेस्टमेंट कहाँ करना है, कैसे करना है, तो एट द एज ऑफ रिटायरमेंट वी मस्ट हैव दिस मच काइंड ऑफ अमाउंट. इवन दो डियर फ्रेंड्स, वो जो बोलते हैं जहाँ जागे वहाँ सवेरा, कहीं कुछ लेट नहीं होता है. यही से कुछ लर्न करिए एंड देन यू जस्ट ट्राई टू इन्वेस्ट, so that you will be able to we will be able to earn a handsome amount and all like that. So these are the certain websites, as you know, mutualfundsahiye.com. So you can put whatever your desired amount and whatever your expectations, and accordingly just you try to invest into that. So again, one of the benefit of entrepreneurship, really I like this particular post which I came on WhatsApp, like my boss arrived at work in a brand new Lamborghini. I said, oh, that's an amazing car. And he replied, if you work hard, put all your hours in and strive for excellence, I will get another one next year. And the same thing is happening. Dear friends, we all are witness for the same. We are working and someone is getting Lamborghini or whatever, BMW and Mercedes and whatever. So this is what exactly the beauty of entrepreneurship, and we need to think about it. So these quotes that day also I left with you. I hope you all are thinking on these all quotes. So you just apply these all quotes. That is why I have kept again in my today's session the same slide here. So all my dear friends, please, again I am saying please. So you think on each and every word of these particular slides. Then diversification, as we know from that, है ना, कि basket is higher risk or that you can. So you can allocate your asset in that way. Now, this is what I just want to share about entrepreneurship. These all are idea which I have gained during the tenure of last 5 years. As a trainer into the domain of entrepreneurship, I have just shared some of the ideas out of that. So I hope, my dear friends, you can implement the ideas which I have shared about entrepreneurship or the creation of wealth and all like that. So this is what entrepreneurship. Now I will be sharing my ideas on startup and technology transfer. So whenever we are thinking for startup is nothing but a design of product, designing of product or the development of product. So dear friends, as we are into the domain of academics, so I will share one simple example, and from that example we can start our entrepreneurship. So I will give you the example of RS अग्रवाल. As everyone knows, है ना, सबको पता है कि RS अग्रवाल का बुक अपन सब लोग यूज करते थे, है ना, जब भी प्रिपरेशन करना है कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जामिनेशन. क्यों, किसने बताया RS अग्रवाल क्या है उस बुक में? डियर फ्रेंड्स, एज अ ऑथर ऑफ क्वांटिटेटिव एप्टीट्यूड, जो कि मैं एज अ ट्रेनर, एज अ टीचर ऑफ क्वांटिटेटिव एप्टीट्यूड, इस बुक में कुछ भी नहीं है. दिस RS अग्रवाल बुक इज ओनली बेस्ड ऑन वॉट एवर गिवन इन 8 to 10 स्टैंडर्ड, नथिंग एल्स. बट जो बंदा था उसने कहीं अपनी एक पहचान बना ली, कुछ अपना एग्जिस्टेंस रखा मार्केट में. सो दैट नाउ आई विल शेयर हाउ मच ही इज अर्निंग इन अ ईयर. So as an author, I will share with you, and this the similar kind of opportunity we have, we can find out. So just you can think the price of this book is 750 rupees, and as a author, he is getting, just imagine, 10% of the royalty. He is getting 75 rupees. If he sold, if he sell 1,000 copies, then he must get 75,000 rupees. नाउ व्हाट ही इज डूइंग, डियर फ्रेंड्स, की सिर्फ 1000 कॉपी जाती होंगी, कि 1000 कॉपी तो नागपुर में जाती होंगी, थ्रू आउट इंडिया तो अलग ही बात है ना. मैं तो कितने तो भी स्टूडेंट्स को इनिशियली रेफर करता था. बहुत बार मैंने 200 200 300 300 कॉपीज इस बुक की बाय की थी फॉर माय स्टूडेंट्स. तो यू कांट इमेजिन कि 1000 कॉपी तो एक नागपुर क्या, मतलब अगर ये 1000 का ही आप कैलकुलेशन करिए तो 1000 कॉपीज हो गया 75,000 रुपीज पर बुक. अब RS अग्रवाल ने क्या किया है, सिंपली अगर आप थोड़ा सा नेट में जाओगे ना और RS अग्रवाल की बुक देखोगे तो कोई बुक का नाम क्वांटिटेटिव एप्टीट्यूड दिखेगा, किसी का अरिथमेटिक दिखेगा, किसी का सॉल्ट पेपर दिखेगा, किसी का RRB के बुक दिखेगा, किसी का SBI PO दिखेगा. और उसका अगर कंटेंट देखोगे ना तो कंटेंट इज सेम, कुछ भी अलग नहीं है. जितने यहाँ एन आइडियल बुक फॉर दिखा है ना, तो इतने अलग अलग बुक भी RS अग्रवाल ने लिखे हुए है, क्योंकि उनको पता है कि जो भी रीडर्स है दे नोज कि मुझे अगर SBI प्रिपेयर करना है तो वो बुक के ऊपर मुझे SBI लिख के चाहिए. So then I must buy that book for the preparation of SBI or the GPAT or NET or SET and all like that, है ना. हमें राइट है ना, मैं अगर इंटरेक्टिव रहता तो बहुत मजा आई होती. So what he did, same book as per their syllabus he created like around 10 books. Simple, मैं 10 ही दे रहा हूँ लेकिन 20-25 किए उसने. That also I will show you in next slide. 10 बुक किए. अभी 10 बुक की सेम केस, एक बुक 75,000 दे रहा है, 1000 कॉपी जाएगी, 10 की 1000 कॉपी जाएगी, कितना होगा, 7.5 लाख रुपए. ये तो मैं एक शहर की बात किया. तो उसका जो अर्निंग है साल का, दैट इज इन क्रोर्स, विच मस्ट बी 4-5 करोड़, 10 करोड़, 15 करोड़. That is what royalty he is getting from this book quantitative aptitude. Can you imagine? Every year, every class suggesting blindly the book of RS Agrawal, Shakuntala Devi, M. Taira and all like that. So they are doing the same thing. Apan kaha hai? Why we are not thinking? So recently I have written, earlier I have written one book quantitative aptitude, but recently I have revised completely my personal book with my student who has cracked CAT with 100 percentile. Now he is a student of IIM. He has prepared during his summer, and now we are going to publish the same book by the end of this year. So in that way we can think, we can find out opportunity about the entrepreneurship. Now I will show you about RS अग्रवाल, जिसकी मैंने बात किया था. एक आप देख सकते हो, वही बुक मराठी, वही बुक हिंदी में, वही बुक के टाइटल अलग, ये वो कर करके सेम बुक, लेकिन 10 की मैंने बात किया था आपसे. So in that way, my dear friends, you can think, you can find out opportunity where you can start your enterprise. So these are all are the books, and in which the content is same. एंड अगेन व्हाट ही हैज डन, पहले तो एक छोटा सा बुक लिख लिया था जब मैं ग्रेजुएशन में था, तो मेरे पास उनका 200-250 पेजेस का बुक था, आज मेरे पास 1000 पेजेस वाला भी बुक है उनका. व्हाट ही हैज डन, जो जो एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन आते थे उसको सॉल्व किए डाल दिए बुक में, सॉल्व किए डाल दिए, सॉल्व किए डाल दिए. एवरी न्यू एडिशन आफ्टर 15 डेज आ सकती है, आपकी भी आ सकती है, मेरी भी आ सकती है, बट सोचना जरूरी है. और अगर ये सोचते हैं अपन तो आ सकता है. किसी को इसके ऊपर कोई क्वेश्चन है, डिस्कशन करना है क्या इस मॉडल के ऊपर? व्हाट्स योर ओपिनियन अबाउट दिस? एनी पार्टिसिपेंट वांट टू हैव डिस्कशन ऑन दिस? किसी को करना है? सो अदरवाइज आई कैन प्रोसीड. Yeah, dear friends, with this this is what Google page, once I write my name like Nilesh Ugamgan books, so you can see this is what I have written, number of books which is written by me with variety of publications. Like even though I have written one book with IGI Global Publication USA, one more chapter recently accepted by Springer, so Springer and elsewhere. So nowadays I am writing certain monograms or the chapters with Springer and elsewhere. So this is what I am not going to share, marketing management. Now again, one thing, as everyone knows Amazon, we all are using Amazon at least weekly. And if we see the success of Amazon, now we know the first wealthier and the richest person among world is Jeff Bishop. And he has started his journey in 1997, and now like a 2020, how much. So you can see एका रात्रीत कोणी यशस्वी होत नाही. So think like that, think beyond, and imagine how he has created a business and all like that. We know the Facebook, we know the WhatsApp. So there are a variety of business models, and how they able to achieve? Only because of appropriate supply chain, appropriate management techniques, fundamentals of business are very right, appropriate technology, application of technology and all like that. So that is what the success of their business. So that you can see supply chain lessons from Amazon, what they are doing. So it's a really yes, I like very much. Put yourself in customer shoes, है ना. ये सबसे पहला मंत्र अपन ने बिजनेस के डोमेन में आते ही याद रखना है. पुट यूर सेल्फ इन कस्टमर शूज. एज अ कस्टमर समझ के देखिए कि जो मैं प्रोडक्ट बना रहा हूँ सही में मुझे पसंद आएगा क्या. तो फॉर दैट you need to do the research, you need to do each and everything, and then you can launch your product into the market. Don't be distracted by the competition, है ना. sometime it happens कि Amazon कभी डिस्ट्रैक्ट हुआ क्या, फ्लिपकार्ट आया, स्नैपडील आया मार्केट में, टाटा क्लिक है, ऐसे कितने तो भी साइट्स है, लेकिन कभी डिस्ट्रैक्ट हुए क्या? नहीं होना. डोंट बी डिस्ट्रैक्टेड बाय द कंपटीशन. Keep an eye on the ball. So definitely that is really required. Then go the extra mile. That is what really needs. Plant seeds and watch them grow. अपन तो अपने को एक दिन में रिजल्ट चाहिए, ऐसा हुआ है क्या? अपन ने तो पढ़ाई की कितने साल की, ऑलमोस्ट 22 साल. ग्रेजुएशन करते करते अगर बचपन से अपन ने पढ़ाई का ग्राफ देखा अपना, ऑलमोस्ट 22 साल, 20-22 साल तो गई है अपने. सो ऑलमोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन 15 ईयर्स प्लस 2 17 ईयर्स तो पढ़ाई करना पड़ता है एक नौकरी के लिए. so that you can't think कि मेरे को within a month or within a year my business will flourish. ऐसा नहीं होता है कभी भी. Learn to improvise. Always there is a scope to learn and scope to improve. So both things we need to we need to have. Then build a dream team. That is really essential. Teamwork के बिना कुछ भी possible नहीं है. So build a dream team. Now I will be sharing certain things about startups and venture capital. Now whenever you are entering, ये तो सारा एक बेस था अपना. एक बिजनेस करना है, बिजनेस करने के लिए क्या बेस है, किस तरीके से आइडियोलॉजी है. अभी एक सर ने सवेरे एक लेक्चर में लास्ट में सुना था कि सॉफ्ट स्किल अलोंग विद हार्ड स्किल, ये सारी चीजों का जब कंबाइन करेंगे, उसके साथ कुछ मैनेजमेंट्स को कंबाइन करेंगे, कुछ थेरी, कुछ प्रैक्टिकल, कुछ ये सारे अनुभव, ये सारी चीजें जब कंबाइन करेंगे तब जाके कहीं एक बिजनेस फ्लरिश होता है. सो नाउ जस्ट लेट मी शेयर अबाउट स्टार्टअप्स, why startups are needed and why we are indulging into startups. Startups के अलावा, as we know, or you may be knowing, dear friends, about incubation. So being a academician, think for incubation. When I went to IIT Kanpur, so I heard first time word incubation 5-7 years back. So really, I was impressed, and my one of the friend who just we became friend at IIT. He has started his business from IIT, and now he has grown up a lot like that. He's working in nanotechnology, and literally he is a Maharashtrian. So in that way, मतलब ये एक incubation, and then I went to their incubation center. I have seen what kind of things they are doing, किस तरीके से काम करते हैं. Um, then I went to again VNIT for looking into their activities of incubation and all like that. So why not we? If that kind of thing is with NIT or the IIT, why not with our colleges? अपन भी कर सकते हैं. थोड़ा सा सोच, धीरे धीरे होगा ना. क्या होगा कि उनके पास बहुत बड़ा सेंटर होगा, अपने पास छोटा होगा, लेकिन कहीं अपने बच्चों को तो अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलेगी. सो थिंक लाइक दैट एंड अकॉर्डिंगली वी कैन प्रोसीड. सो नाउ स्टार्टअप्स के लिए सिंपली एज वी नो, individual technology cannot be licensed, or the startup is sometimes is the only alternative. Sometimes what happen कि अपन ने अगर इंडिविजुअल कोई टेक्नोलॉजी बना लिया है तो उसका लाइसेंस नहीं मिलेगा, पेटेंट नहीं हो सकता है. एट दैट मोमेंट वी कैन स्टार्ट अवर ओन वेंचर एज वेल. एक स्टार्टअप शुरू करके, ठीक है ना, क्योंकि ये तो अपने दिमाग का है, अपने को पता है देयर में भी सर्टेन इनएडिक्वेसीज, बिकॉज ऑफ दैट वी आर नॉट गेटिंग पेटेंट. यार लाइसेंसिंग मतलब पेटेंट नहीं मिल रहा है, तो इसका मतलब कि उसका प्रोडक्शन नहीं कर पाएंगे क्या. सो इन दैट केस यू कैन थिंक अबाउट startups, or the startups is a way to translate academic inventions into commercial goods and services that benefit the public. सिंपल फंडामेंटल है कि एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप का सबसे पहला मोटो है बेनिफिट्स टू द पब्लिक. अभी बोलोगे सर बेनिफिट्स टू द पब्लिक ही क्यों, खुद को तो है, एज ए एंटरप्रेन्योर तुमको भी है, बट पब्लिक को. अगर एक एंटरप्रेन्योर ने, सपोज मेरे पास एक बिस्लरी की बॉटल है, ये अगर इस एंटरप्रेन्योर ने नहीं बनाई होती, या ड्रिंकिंग वाटर का कंसेप्ट नहीं आया होता, तो शायद आज अपने को कहीं अपने को पता है रेलवे स्टेशन वाला ही पानी पीना पड़ता था. अपने को अच्छा ड्रिंकिंग वाटर मिलता था क्या 10 ईयर और 15 ईयर डाउन द लाइन? कहीं पे भी नहीं था. तो लाइक दैट एनीथिंग, एंटरप्राइज बहुत ही जरूरी है. दूसरी चीज क्या होती है, अगर एंटरप्रेन्योर्स, नंबर ऑफ एंटरप्रेन्योर्स आर एंटरिंग इनटू द एंटरिंग, देन व्हाट विल हैपन? सो द कंपटीशन ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट विल बी रिड्यूस. अपने को पता है एक मोबाइल अपने पास आज स्मार्टफोन अच्छा वाला 10-12 हजार में मिल जाता है. एक जमाना था अपने को सादा वाला फोन 7-8 हजार में, 9 हजार में लेना पड़ता था. तो इसकी तो अगर बहुत सारे नहीं रहते तो एप्पल के जैसा मतलब 70-80 हजार में ही लेना पड़ता था. So this is not possible to afford everyone, na. So that is why most of the entrepreneurs should enter into the domain of entrepreneurship, and that is why competition will be reduced and prices will be less. And that is what the fundamental of entrepreneurship, and that is why government is promoting. You may be knowing about CMEGP, PMEGP, the DIC. They have number of schemes to promote the entrepreneurship. They are giving subsidy, they are giving land, they are giving, as you know, MIDC, GIDC and all like that. So wherein we can get land at a very cheaper price. We are getting 24-hour water, we are getting 24-hour electricity, so that there should not be any kind of interruption in the process of business activities. So that is what, and again, ultimately what will happen? Once more entrepreneurs, then economy of the country will be enhanced, because more product will be produced like that. So also serve as an engine for local economic development and job creation. And one more thing of startup is we can create more jobs, है ना. तो अगर एक एंटरप्रेन्योर बनते हैं तो वो 100 जॉब क्रिएट कर सकता है. अगर वही कहीं जॉब सीकर करके जाएगा तो क्या होगा, वो 100 जॉब तो नहीं क्रिएट होगी ना. सो दीज ऑल आर द इंटेंशन बिहाइंड द स्टार्टअप्स, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट we need to motivate our students. Then what percentage of the inventions become startups? As we know, only 5 to 10% of the inventions meet the criteria necessary to become a startup company. जितने भी inventions तो बहुत होते हैं, है ना, तो लेकिन उसमें से only 5 to 10% are can meet the whatever criteria required to start the startups, because they are thinking in terms of economy. If we are talking, if we are thinking about like packaging or whatever, material management, production management. So in these aspects, every company is thinking for single penny. एक एक रुपए की बात की जाती है एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप पे. So that is why really if technology is able to get or gain wealth, then and then only entrepreneur starts business into that. Otherwise ऐसा कभी नहीं होगा. Then again, as we know, one need to have a successful startup company. So it's a really big, difficult question. What does one need to have a successful startup company? क्या चाहिए? So not an easy question to answer. ये कोई नहीं देगा. मैं भी नहीं दे पाऊंगा। इवन आप खुद को भी पूछिए तो बड़ा डिफिकल्ट लगेगा। अ ग्रेट आइडिया डज नॉट नेसेसरली लीड टू ए सक्सेसफुल कंपनी। समटाइम आइडिया भी बहुत अच्छी रहती है, बहुत ग्रेट आइडिया रहेगी, लेकिन कंपनी सक्सेसफुल होगी क्या नहीं ये नहीं बता पाएंगे। So according to the there is one line I got, startup company Bible. So there is a line. It is ultimately the quality of the management team that builds successful companies rather than their technology. So that depends upon human being. That depends upon the team of people. They can make company successful rather than technology what they have. And we are witness for number of ventures. We are witness for number of companies that failed. Rather they have number of technologies and all. अपने को पता है अपने यहाँ GM मोटर्स की गाड़ी थी अपने यहाँ, लेकिन भाई दे वांट टू गो आउट फ्रॉम इंडिया, है ना। शेवरोलेट की गाड़ी आती है, अभी नहीं दिखेगी कुछ दिनों के बाद में, जो है पुराने वही दिख रहे हैं उन्होंने। दे हैव स्टॉक। ऐसे बहुत सारा होता है। अभी अभी बहुत सारी चाइनीज कंपनी आती है, ऐसे बहुत सारे अपन अलग अलग बिजनेसेस देख सकते हैं। Then setting up an enterprise. So what entrepreneurial development you can see simply identification and evaluation of the opportunity. सबसे पहले आपको आइडेंटिफिकेशन एंड इवेल्युएशन ऑफ द अपॉर्चुनिटी करना पड़ेगा। तो मैं जस्ट व्हेन आई डिड MBA, तो आई वाज टॉट बाय वेराइटी ऑफ पीपल हु वर्क विद धीरूभाई अंबानी एज वेल। मेरे एक प्रोफेसर थे डॉक्टर MJ सिंह करके, ही वाज मेन प्रिंसिपल HR to the first company of Dhirubhai Ambani, and then he was consultant to the British Gas and all. So he always said us कि आपको कहीं पे भी बिजनेस शुरू करना है तो आप आपके पास जो रिसोर्सेस अवेलेबल है उससे स्टार्ट करिए, क्योंकि अगर आप बोलेंगे कि नहीं मैं सारी चीजें नहीं करके नहीं लेके बिजनेस शुरू करूंगा तो बोले आपका लाइफ में कभी नहीं शुरू होगा करके। एंड रियली I realize this particular statement always when I look into number of entrepreneurs. So that is what, then again develop a business plan. आप एक आपका proper plan बनाइए, प्रोजेक्ट बनाइए, प्रोजेक्ट का प्लानिंग करिए, अकॉर्डिंगली वी कैन प्रोसीड। डिटरमाइन द रिसोर्सेज रिक्वायर्ड, रिसोर्सेज क्या रिक्वायर्ड है वो अपने को डिटरमाइन करना पड़ेगा। इम्प्लीमेंटेशन एंड मैनेजमेंट ऑफ द एंटरप्राइज, तो ये भी चीजें बहुत जरूरी है। Then certain considerations are required while thinking about startups. Need to raise capital to fund the development of technology, है ना। सबसे पहले कैपिटल इज ऑलवेज रिक्वायर्ड। इज देयर ए लार्ज एड्रेसेबल मार्केट। दूसरी बात आपको डिसाइड करना पड़ेगा कि आपके पास बहुत बड़ा मार्केट है क्या जिस चीज में आप एंटरप्राइज या स्टार्टअप शुरू कर रहे हैं। तीसरी बात है कि इन्वेंटर विल हैव ऑब्लिगेशंस एट द यूनिवर्सिटी, देयरफॉर नीड टू रिक्रूट एन इनिशियल मैनेजमेंट टीम। ऐसा है क्या ये भी देखना पड़ेगा। What are the terms of license agreement between the university and company? यूनिवर्सिटी मीन्स क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे, किस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में बात कर रहे हैं अपन। जिस किसी ने टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप किया है और अगर तुम चाहते हो कि वो टेक्नोलॉजी के बेस पे आपको स्टार्टअप शुरू करना है तो देयर शुड बी सर्टेन लीगल एग्रीमेंट इन बिटवीन देम। यूनिवर्सिटी है या कॉलेजेस है ना, अगर अपने बात करेंगे कॉलेजेस ने डेवलप किया है टेक्नोलॉजी या इंडिविजुअली किया है तो उसमें है क्या। दिस इज व्हाट रियली रिक्वायर्ड इन while indulging into startups. Then again, most important thing for the startups are we need to find out funding sources. फंडिंग सोर्सेज तो कहाँ से आएगी। बहुत बार क्या होता है कि लोग अपने फ्रेंड्स से लेते हैं, फैमिली मेंबर्स से लेते हैं, समटाइम उनकी पुरानी कुछ सेविंग्स है उसको तोड़ के यूज करते हैं। तो दिस इज वन थिंग। अनदर थिंग, ग्रांट्स फ्रॉम गवर्नमेंट और द गवर्नमेंट फंडिंग, जैसे मैंने CMEGP PMEGP बोला है कि उसमें गवर्नमेंट्स आर गिविंग सर्टेन शेयर, सम शेयर्स आर गिविंग बाय गवर्नमेंट, एंड अगेन देयर इज सर्टेन प्रोविजन ऑफ लोन फ्रॉम द बैंक्स। So that is again another way of funding, and again another best way is selling stock in the company, like IPO. You may be knowing initial public offering often comes after VC funding. तो वेंचर कैपिटल फंडिंग के बाद वो आती है, तो इवन दो दैट आल्सो कैन बी रेज। बट अगर अपनी नई कंपनी है, नई कंपनी लॉन्च कर रहे हैं और अपन अपना IPO लॉन्च करोगे तो कोई खरीदेगा नहीं, क्योंकि उनको पता है, क्योंकि उनके अपने पास कुछ फंडामेंटल्स होना चाहिए, अपना कुछ मार्केट में एग्जिस्टेंस होना चाहिए, उन्हीं कंपनी का IPO खरीदा जाता है। सो इन दैट वे यू कैन थिंक लाइक दैट। सो अगेन एज यू नो द एंजल इन्वेस्टमेंट भी होता है। तो अभी एक एंजल इन्वेस्टमेंट क्या है, तो इन्वेस्टमेंट ऑफ द कंपनीज ड्यूरिंग द रिस्क, हाई रिस्क सीड स्टेज एट अ वेरी अर्ली स्टेज। तो अभी देखो ये एंजल इन्वेस्टमेंट और द एंजल इन्वेस्टमेंट इन्वेस्टर्स कब काम करते हैं। जैसे अगर सपोज एक टाटा एक बहुत अच्छा प्रोजेक्ट लेके आ रहे, so now people has faith on Tata, तो ये एक बहुत ठीक है, अपने को कुछ भी पता नहीं रहेगा कि वो प्रोजेक्ट सस्टेन होगा नहीं होगा, अपन इन्वेस्ट करेंगे और फिर क्या होगा अपने को पता है, क्योंकि देन वी इन्वेस्टर इज कॉल्ड एज एंजल इन्वेस्टर। बट एज यू नो, जैसे कि अनिल अंबानी ने पावर लाया था, अंबानी पावर, है ना, क्या हुआ उसके साथ, आईपीओ लॉन्च हुआ, बहुत बड़ा आईपीओ था, एंड देन व्हाट हैपेंड, अल्टीमेटली इट फेल्स, है ना। तो ऐसे भी होता है। अभी अगर कोई बोलेंगे कि अनिल अंबानी की कंपनी में इन्वेस्टमेंट करो, अच्छी कंपनी, कोई नहीं करेगा। वही मुकेश अंबानी का है तो हर एक जन करने के लिए तैयार रहेगा। तो दिस इज व्हाट काइंड ऑफ द फेथ वी नीड टू एस्टैब्लिश इनटू द मार्केट। Then tend to be individuals investing their own money, as opposed to VCs that manage the money invested in multiple people, and fill in the gap between friends and family and VC। ये गैप भी बहुत आपको मेंटेन करना जरूरी है। देन वेंचर कैपिटल जिसकी मैं बात किया, तो टाइप ऑफ प्राइवेट इक्विटी टिपिकली प्रोवाइडेड टू अर्ली स्टेज हाई पोटेंशियल ग्रोथ कंपनीज इन द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ जनरेटिंग अ रिटर्न। दैट इज व्हाट वी कॉल्ड इट एज अ वेंचर कैपिटल, and that can be generated through IPO or the sale of the company and all. Then venture capital fund is pooled investment vehicle that primarily invests the capital of third party investors in enterprise that are too risky for standard capital market or bank loans. So it is not forever good. So that is why every company is raising their fund from variety of instruments. So that is again technical things that also we can have discussion sometime if we are going into the financial part of the project. Supporting and educating in entrepreneurs, as we know. So as we know, the person behind an idea is as important as the idea itself, है ना। कभी कभी क्या होता है, आइडिया तो ले लेते हैं लोग, लेकिन उस बंदे को पता है उस आइडिया में क्या मॉडिफिकेशन करना है, तो वो पर्सन भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, वो भूल जाते हैं, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट अगेन ओनली बिजनेस गेट फेल्स, है ना। शुरू करते हैं लोगों को, जैसे बहुत बार 5 पार्टनर रहते हैं, 6 पार्टनर रहते हैं, उसमें से एक आधी का आइडिया रहती है, बाद में उसी पार्टनर को लोग एक्सपेल कर देते हैं, और एंड देन आफ्टर सम टाइम वी कैन सी दैट बिजनेस गेट फेल्स। तो ये दिस हैपन्स। तो ये सब चीजें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है। So talented people can be more powerful than the specific innovations. That is also really important. As we know, variety of people how they create the business, है ना। So the role of the inventor will depend on the maturity of the company. So that you can see again, supporting and educating yes, faculty and students relative experiences in funding, founding, growing, and managing successful companies can be impediment. You can see this. Yeah. I will be sharing. Yes, culture of innovations. So that really university means here I am using this term in the context of college as well. So college or the university should have an ecosystem of entrepreneurship. So my dear friends, please yes, please explore, please float this word of entrepreneurship into the students. Top to bottom culture that breeds and fosters innovations. Then offer university resources to spin-outs like a continued access to cutting-edge labs, facilities for startups is extremely appealing to the VCs, means venture capitals. Universities should leverage visibility by partnering with other universities, है ना। तो either universities or the colleges can partner with other colleges or the companies so that they can run their startup smoothly, build on each other's success rather than being competitors. That is what really essentials. Again, dear friends, collaboration is most important. So if you are faced with a problem that you cannot solve yourself, technical, financial or commercial problem, then what will happen, कोलैबोरेशन करने की वजह से क्या हो जाएगा, रिस्क कैन बी शेयर्ड, है ना। एक टॉपिक शेयर, रिस्क भी शेयर होगी, कॉस्ट भी शेयर होगी, तो प्रॉफिट भी शेयर होगा, है ना। रिस्क भी शेयर हुई तो प्रॉफिट भी शेयर हुआ। अपन हमेशा प्रॉफिट के बारे में ही सोचते हैं, लेकिन ये भी चीजें सोचो कि रिस्क रहती है, कॉस्ट इन्वॉल्व है। दैट इज वाई कोलैबोरेशन इज मोस्ट important to gain technological know-how. Sometimes what happen, if we have collaboration with some other person or the lab, they have more knowledge rather than us, so then we can expedite whatever we want. So that is what really importance of the collaboration to speed up product development. Yes, that is also essential to develop industry standards. Yes, so yeah, this is and to gain additional market, reduce time to market. So dear friends, I will share to achieve achieve whatever we are talking about startups, so you can use certain technologies or the certain management philosophies like a quality circle, just in time, Six Sigma, Kaizen, Kanban. So these all are the techniques, Ishikawa diagram and all like that. So really these all things are important while thinking about startups, and not only about startups but in our academics as well. We can implement these all kinds of the techniques. Now you can see transfer of technology from commercial lab to the manufacturing. So here there is a triangle, and if one thing is missing from this triangle, then also transfer of technology cannot be takes place. Like here you can see understanding the environment is important, technology developers and the technology receivers. ये तीनों चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट है जब भी आप टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर की बात करते हैं. टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर मीन्स क्या है? The process helps a manufacturing company more effectively use its human, physical, and capital resources by providing knowledge, information, or assistance, which leads to improvement in its facility, equipment, manufacturing methods, management methods, or marketing methods. That kind of technology can be transferred from one to another, and that is really essential in startups. So in case of technology transfer, you can see how these are connected to each other: invention, innovation, design, and marketing. So these four things are connected with each other. If one thing is missing, then technology transfer is of no value. And you can see new kind of the technology or the new technologies can be transferred. So now from ideas, R&D lab, technology transformation, product, and all like that. So there are certain barriers in technology transfers. Like a barriers means, yeah, you can see a lack of awareness. We have good technology, but we don't know how to transfer that technology, how to convert whatever technology we have into the business. So that is what lack of awareness, lack of knowledge. Sometimes if staff of company is lacking technical knowledge, it may be capitalized on the technology being offered in transfer. So a lack of knowledge, then lack of funds. Sometime for the transfer of technology, startups है, उनको किसी की टेक्नोलॉजी चाहिए, तो what happened, they don't have the fund. So that may be the barrier in them, among them. Then lack of common interest. Sometimes the common interest, there is a conflict of interest among the startups and among the inventors who has invented a technology. Then definitely that will be again one of the barrier about among the technology transfer. Then conflict, lack of common interest, lack of, yeah, lack of trust. That is also really important. Then poor communication among them, communication among the person who has invented a technology and the person who is using while beginning their startups. Then lack of infrastructure and the over committed. These all are the barriers for the technology transfer. So these all are the some of the technical terms about entrepreneurship, about startups, about technology transfer. So here I would like to wind up my today's session. At the end, just I would like to say, क्यों डरे कि जिंदगी में क्या होगा, क्यों डरे कि जिंदगी में क्या होगा, हर वक्त क्यों सोचे कि बुरा होगा, बढ़ते रहे बस मंजिलों की ओर, बढ़ते रहे बस मंजिलों की ओर, हमें कुछ मिले या न मिले, तजुर्बा तो नया होगा, तजुर्बा तो नया होगा. Thank you, my dear friends. Thank you, Rasala sir, for inviting me. Thank you, Bodhankar ma'am. Thank you, Ittadwar sir, for inviting me to deliver this session. So now the session is open for question and answer. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It was really a nice presentation about startups. I request the participants to ask questions.
I think there is one question in the chat box.
Yeah.
How to attract venture capitalist?
That depends upon the image of company. Initially, we need to create our image, create our brand. Then and then only we can attract the venture capitalist. Otherwise, it would be always difficult. As I have given one of the example of अनिल अंबानी, है ना, कि रिलायंस पावर जैसे आया था सबको पता था कि किस तरीके से वो डूब गया. तो पहले अगर तुम्हारी एक अच्छी इमेज, अगर टाटा अगर एक आधा नया कोई ब्रांड शुरू करोगे, क्योंकि क्या होता है कि ऑलवेज दे आर गोइंग फॉर डाइवर्सिफिकेशन, एज एवरीवन नोज. टाटा इज इनटू मींस, है ना, छोटे से बिजनेस से लेके बड़े बिजनेस सारे इसमें ही है. अगर वो कोई नया वेंचर शुरू करोगे तो वेंचर कैपिटल बहुत जल्दी आएगा, लेकिन अगर अपन शुरू करने जाएंगे तो इट वुड बी ऑलवेज डिफिकल्ट. तो दैट इज व्हाई आई सेड कि इनिशियली जो कैपिटल अपने को आना है वो बैंक से ही आएगा. लाइक सीएमईजीपी है, पीएमईजीपी है, डीआईसी है. अगर पैसे नहीं है तो लोन ले सकते हैं, बोरो फ्रॉम द फ्रेंड्स है, बोरो फ्रॉम द फैमिली है. तो दैट इज व्हाट इनिशियली वी नीड टू डू. वंस वी एस्टैब्लिश आवर इमेज देन वी कैन create or we can get a venture capital.
Thank you, sir. So there is one more question in the chat box from Khupse, sir. He's saying that as per your experience, what are the various fields or topics for starting a startup for academicians?
या मैंने बहुत एक सिंपल एक एग्जांपल दिया था कि बुक का कैसे स्टार्टअप कर सकते हैं. एक सिंपल मैंने एक आर.एस. अग्रवाल का एक एग्जांपल कोट करके दैट कैन गोज इन क्रोर्स. And once we can earn that kind of money, then definitely we will be able to. दूसरा एक मैं आपको बता सकता हूँ सर कि आप पब्लिकेशन शुरू कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि पब्लिकेशन स्टार्टिंग पब्लिकेशन इज नॉट बिग डील नाउअडेज. सो दैट इज वन काइंड ऑफ द स्टार्टअप. अनदर थिंग अपन शुरू कर सकते हैं सर कि जैसे आप फार्मेसी सेक्टर में हैं, तो आप जैसे सभी अभी पता है ऑनलाइन फार्मेसी है, तो उसके भी कुछ कुछ नए नए मॉड्यूल्स बनाए थे हम लोगों ने कि किस तरीके से यू कैन अर्न. एज वी नो एवरीबडी नोज लाइक दैट यू मे बी knowing क्योंकि because you all are from pharmacy sector how much profit is there. तो why we are not indulging into that. तो ऑनलाइन जब बाकी के बिजनेस कर सकते तो अपन क्यों नहीं है, क्योंकि लोग डराते हैं लाइसेंस नहीं मिलेंगे, ये नहीं मिलेगा. तुम एंटर तो करो, तो डेफिनेटली यू विल गेट द वेज. वेयर देयर इज विल देयर इज अ वे. तो इस तरीके के ऐसे बहुत सारे छोटे छोटे वेंचर्स है जो अपन शुरू कर सकते हैं. इवन दो अपन एज अकेडमिशियन रह के भी कर सकते हो. तो इन दैट वे यू कैन स्टार्ट सर. और छोटे से शुरू करिए. छोटा भी कोई ये नहीं होता है लाइक दैट. अपन क्योंकि हमेशा क्या होता है ना कि एंटरप्रेन्योर्स बोले तो वो 3-4 ही दिखते अपने को कि धीरू भाई अंबानी है, टाटा जी है, अजीम प्रेम जी है, नारायण मूर्ति है. उनके अलावा कोई दिखता ही नहीं अपने को. अपने आजू बाजू में भी बहुत एंटरप्रेन्योर्स होते हैं. तो शायद वी नीड टू गो टू द MIDC, तो अपने को पता चलेगा कि वहाँ पे कितने सारे बिजनेसेस है. एंड देन वी कैन कनेक्ट विद देम कि ठीक है भाई तुम कैसा कर रहे हो, क्या कर रहे हो, उसमें से कोई तो पसंद आएगा. एंड इनिशियली यू कैन इमिटेट, देन यू गो फॉर द इनोवेशन. है ना, किसी की कॉपी करना कोई बुरी बात नहीं होती है. मोस्ट ऑफ द सक्सेसफुल पीपल आर डूइंग द सेम थिंग. पहले कॉपी करो ना, बाद में इनोवेट करो. किसी का एक मॉडल लेके आओ, उसको आप आपके तरीके से कस्टमाइज कर सकते हो. सो अकॉर्डिंगली आपको उसका बेनिफिट मिलेगा.
थँक्यू व्हेरी मच सर. डेफिनेटली तुम्ही जे सांगितलं ना सर आता, खरंच आपण फक्त त्या 3-4 लोकांकडेच बघतो फक्त. डेफिनेटली तुम्ही सांगितलं सर, डेफिनेटली मी ट्राय करतो सर.
येस, असं सिंपल आहे. साधं MIDC असंच फिरायला जायचं, सुट्टी असली की फिरायचं. म्हणजे मला तर वाटतं सर, मी कधीच, मला काल कुणीतरी म्हटलं दुपारी एक फोनला झोपले होते का, म्हटलं कुठे वेळ मिळेल झोपायला. दुपारी जायचं ना सर, एखादा बिझनेस सहज व्हिजिट करायची, काय फरक पडणार. म्हणतो मी जेव्हा वेन आहे वो, मतलब आता मी कॉलेजला, मी असंच कॉलेजला फिरायला जातो. मला कुणी जर बोलवलं तर मी फ्री मध्ये फिरतो. म्हणजे कळतं ना सर आपल्याला व्हॉट दे आर डुईंग डिफरंटली. अँड दॅट काइंड ऑफ मतलब आपण त्या पद्धतीने आपल्याकडे पण एक कल्चर इम्बाईब करू शकतो. म्हणजे नाऊ आय एम लुकिंग फॉर, जसं की आता काही दिवसांपूर्वी नाऊ आय एम वर्किंग विथ गोंडवाना युनिव्हर्सिटी. My first step, I started NPTEL over there. Okay. I'm starting. I am associated with now MSME, MCED. We have done MOUs, and now we are going to do MOU with Nagpur University. Okay. So that our college will be connected to Nagpur University, so that we will get ease of facilities. Okay. तो ये छोटी छोटी चीजें है ना सर, एज अकेडमिशियन अपन कर सकते हैं. दूसरी बात है, अपन NAC की कंसल्टेंसी कर सकते हैं, NBA की कंसल्टेंसी कर सकते हैं. पढ़ना क्या है सर, मैनुअल तो पढ़ना है. एंड इवन तो जहाँ पे भी NAC आती है उनको बोलना कि मेरे को 2 दिन, अभी दोस्त तो रहता ही ना अपना, तो बा मेरे को ऐसे आने दे, मेरे को देखना है मेरे कॉलेज का NAC है करके. तुमको समझ में आएगा कि NAC की टीम क्या करती. एंड फॉर्चुनेटली अगर तुम बहुत अच्छे हैं तो उनके साथ भी तुम्हारी दोस्ती बन जाएंगी. तो यू विल बिकम कंसल्टेंट फॉर सच काइंड ऑफ थिंग एज वेल सर. थोड़ा सा पढ़ना पड़ेगा, थोड़ा सा पढ़, लेकिन क्या होता है ना, अपन अकेडमिक्स में रहते, अपन कभी NAC का मैनुअल ही नहीं पढ़ते है ना. वो क्राइटेरिया कोई बताते हैं, 7 क्राइटेरिया है, बस उस पर सीमित रहते, लेकिन उसके अंदर क्या है. और वो मार्किंग, अरे वो मार्किंग तो बाय डिफॉल्ट आनी चाहिए ना, है ना. अपन ने मार्क्स के लिए ना पढ़ते हुए काम करते रहिए ना, तो वो तो अपने आप आएगी. अभी रिसेंटली आई लिसन वन ऑफ द प्रेजेंटेशन फ्रॉम बनासथाली यूनिवर्सिटी. यू कैन गो टू, देयर इज अ साइट ऑफ NAC बेसिकली. तो सर रियली दे हैव फैंटास्टिक थिंग्स. मतलब जो चीजें NAC नहीं मांगते ना, उससे 100 गुना चीजें ज्यादा है उनके यहाँ. इवन दो दे हैव देयर ओन फ्लाइंग क्लब. कभी इमेजिन करते कि अपन, तो हमने पूछा उनको कि आपके यहाँ की पायलट का ट्रेनिंग होता है कि नहीं, बोले वो हम एज अ पार्ट ऑफ एजुकेशन वी आर इम्पार्टिंग दैट कि फ्लाइंग शुड बी नोन टू अवर स्टूडेंट. सबकी एक क्यूरियोसिटी रहती है, बोले एंड इट्स अ वेरी ओल्डेस्ट यूनिवर्सिटी इन राजस्थान। तो ये सब चीजें होती है ना सर, वाई नॉट, मतलब ये सब चीजें कर सकते हैं अपन भी। तो धीरे धीरे मैंने बताया ना कि जैसे जैसे तुम क्या होता है ना कि पहले खुद पे इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे तो लोग सुनेंगे, है ना, कि अगर सपोज मैं बहुत जूनियर हूँ तो मेरा क्यों कोई सुनेगा ना, मेरे पे भरोसा क्यों रखेगा। तो अगर मैं पता कर रहा हूँ, मैं कुछ चीजें वो ला रहा हूँ, तो देन डेफिनेटली एवरीवन विल रिलाई ऑन यू। पर एक दिन तो अपन को कैपेसिटी में पहुंचना ही है ना, कि ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम यू विल बिकम हेड, यू विल बिकम प्रिंसिपल ऑफ द कॉलेज। तो एट दैट मोमेंट रियली दिस ऑल काइंड्स ऑफ द थिंग्स विल बी यूजफुल फॉर अस। अपन सोचते मैं आज फैकल्टी हूँ, मेरा क्या काम है, मेरा कभी इतने फाइल बनाने के लिए दिया, उतनी फाइल में बनाऊ, आई राइट ना। तो दैट इज व्हाट काइंड ऑफ द मिस्टेक वी आर डूइंग। अपन ने इतना, मैं सर आई एम टेलिंग यू, व्हेन देयर वाज अ नैक इन माय कॉलेज ना, आई यूज्ड टू स्टे विद 12 पीएम, मतलब रात के 12 बजे तक मैं प्रिंसिपल सर के साथ बैठता था। आई वॉज क्लोजली एसोसिएटेड विद देम, कि ठीक है ना भाई, क्या होता है, मेरे वाइस प्रिंसिपल सर के साथ डिस्कस करता था कि सर ऐसे हुआ था, इसका क्या इम्पैक्ट है, उसका क्या इम्पैक्ट है। तो सो दैट आई जस्ट केम टू नो अबाउट दैट ना। अभी मैं मैनुअल पढ़ रहा हूँ, अभी मैं चाहता हूँ कि मैं भी नैक में कैसे एडवाइजर जाऊँ। अभी आई एम थिंकिंग कि मैं वहां पे क्यों ना, मैं रिसोर्स पर्सन क्यों ना रह सकता हूँ ना। हमें राइट ना, क्या अलग थोड़ा रहता है ना, अगर कहीं तुमको कहीं रिसोर्स पर्सन बनना है, अलग थोड़ी लोग है, वो लोग ही है ना, उनका भी 10-12 साल 15 साल एक्सपीरियंस है, तुमको भी आ गया अभी। तो दैट इज वाई, दैट इज व्हाट सर, मतलब इसके पहले भी मैं भी जब ट्रेनिंग देता था तो मुझे डर लगता था, आज लग रहा है कि ठीक है ना यार, मेरे दोस्त ही तो है, सामने फैकल्टी है। तो समटाइम फियर आती है, बट दैट अपने आप वो चली जाती है फिर। these all are the things sir are really
थँक यू
important, not
थँक यू व्हेरी
only
मच सर. मी
not only
तुम्हाला
for entrepreneurship but
येस
for academics as well.
येस
अपन
डेफिनेटली
academics को पूरा entrepreneurship में टर्न कर सकते,
सर. नक्की नक्की
आणि
म्हणजे
ते करायला पाहिजे सर आपण, म्हणजे आपण आपल्या
सर
मुलांना करायला पाहिजे.
मी स्वतःला फॉर्च्युनेट मानतो सर. म्हणजे खरंच म्हणजे आपण बोलतो ना, तुम्ही ह्या एफडीपी मधून की नाही तुम्ही काय शिकला शॉर्ट टर्म टेक्निकमधून, तर तुम्ही ओव्हरलुक चेंज केलाय माझा सिरियसली. म्हणजे सगळ्या गोष्टींकडे बघण्याचं ओव्हरलुक चेंज केलाय. डेफिनेटली सर तुम्ही जे गायडन्स केलं ना, मी तुमचं मागचं लेक्चर नाही केलं, आजचं लेक्चर ऐकलं. डेफिनेटली सर म्हणजे मी तुम्हाला म्हणजे मी तुम्हाला करतो डेफिनेटली काही गोष्टी तुम्ही स्वतःमध्ये नक्की इम्प्लिमेंट करेन आणि माझ्या मुलांमध्ये पण इम्प्लिमेंट करायचा प्रयत्न करेन. आणि आहे सर तुमचा नंबर माझ्याकडे आहेच. इथून पुढे नक्की सर मी तुमच्या टचमध्ये. थँक्यू
नाही
व्हेरी मच
करता
फॉर
येतं
सच अ
सर,
नाईस
थँक्यू
लेक्चर.
सर,
थँक्यू व्हेरी
थँक्यू.
मच.
Thank you, Khupse sir and Ubebake sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful session, sir. Sir, in his presentation, he has shared his thoughts and opinions about the entrepreneurship. सर ने अपने प्रेजेंटेशन में बताया है कि एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप क्यों जरूरत है, व्हाई देयर इज अ नीड. सर, आपके प्रेजेंटेशन में कुछ पंच लाइन्स मुझे बहुत अच्छे लगे हैं जो मैं शेयर करना चाहूंगा. आपने बोला है कि सर एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप क्यों चाहिए. आपने बताया है कि एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप इज ऑल अबाउट विलिंगनेस टू टेक मेजर्ड रिस्क. आपने बताया है which took you freedom from this supervision and that will satisfy your life. ये आपने बताया सर. और आपने सर और एक चीज बोली है कि you having your own money blueprint,
या
जो कि जरूरी है. और एजुकेशन सिस्टम के बारे में सर आपने बताया है कि, और ये सही में सर आपने बोली है, जो भी बोली है ये सही में यही हो रहा है कि जो ट्रेंड जो सेट हुआ है वही अपन फॉलो करते आ रहे हैं. सो डोंट फॉलो द ट्रेंड, सेट योर ओन ट्रेंड. ये एक्चुअली होना चाहिए जो नहीं हो रहा है, और उसके लिए अपने को स्ट्राइव करना है. ये सर बहुत अच्छा बताया आपने. और आपके प्रेजेंटेशन में आपने बताया है कि 5 सीक्रेट्स ऑफ 1% पीपल क्या होते हैं. तो इसमें भी सर एक एक पंच लाइन मैंने आपके प्रेजेंटेशन से निकाली है जो बहुत अच्छा लगा मुझे. दैट इज ड्राइव योर ओन व्हीकल, डू नॉट ट्रस्ट एनीवन. This is the main motto behind the entrepreneurship. That is, drive your own vehicle and pay yourself first. So this is the basic behind the entrepreneurship. In your presentation, you also explained about the 7R theory of wealth creation, जहाँ पे आपने बताया है कि net worth depends upon network, जिसमें total 7R theories के बारे में आपने बताया है. सर आपने कुछ एग्जांपल्स भी लिए हैं कि बिजनेस और बिजनेस अपॉर्चुनिटीज को कैसे आप एक्सपांड कर सकते हो. Sir, then after you have explained about the startups and venture capital, how you can convert your academic inventions into the commercial goods and how to generate the employment, that you taught very well, sir. आपने एंजल इन्वेस्टर्स के बारे में बताई है. देन वेंचर कैपिटल के बारे में सर आपने बताया है. सर एक चीज मुझे अच्छी लगी है आपके प्रेजेंटेशन में कि यूनिवर्सिटीज हो या कॉलेज या कोई इंस्टीट्यूट हो, दे शुड हैव देयर इकोसिस्टम ऑफ एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप.
yes,
This is what we need to inculcate in our students. This is very important nowadays in every institute or college to promote the students in entrepreneurship development. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your wonderful session. On behalf of the Gurunanak College of Pharmacy, I express my gratitude towards the Dr. Nilesh Ugumuge, sir, the coordinator of the program, Bodhankar Madam, and the principal Gurunanak College of Pharmacy, and the entire team of the Gurunanak College of Pharmacy. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
So once again, thank you all for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to deliver my session. So I am really honored to have a session with such kind of learned people. So thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
Budhankar, ma'am.
Thank you,
Have,
sir. Thank you very
thank
much.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Please remain
Have a nice
attached.
time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Dear participants, we will meet at 2:45 p.m. instead of 2:30. That is 15 minutes late, because the speaker will be available at 2:45 p.m. So we'll be starting at 2:45 p.m.
One more request to all the delegates or the participants. So kindly mark your attendance and don't forget to give the feedback. Actually, we are getting short of feedbacks and the attendance from all the participants. So it's kind request to all the delegates and participants, kindly fill up the feedback form and the attendance and return back to the mail. Thank you
Otherwise,
very
it will be very difficult to give the certificates because that is a requirement from AICT actually.
much. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
So let us meet at 2:45.